Yo, welcome to the Blue Lounge, welcome to the stream. I had that on screen up for a second. How you all doing? Welcome. Matthew Hunter, welcome to the stream. CFC Steven, welcome to the stream. And Matthew Hunter, you're reminding me of another MH for Chelsea. Matthew Harding, who was tragically killed 25 years ago today. 25 years ago today, he was killed in a helicopter accident traveling back to London from watching Chelsea play away. Unfortunate. The man, his contribution to the club is immense. And he was a big supporter. I'm not just talking about the financial aspects that he contributed and the stand that he built and whatnot, but he was a proper Chelsea supporter, a proper Chelsea fan. So commiserations, condolences. It's one of those painful memories for a lot of people because he went before his time. So it's the anniversary, so I wanted to mention it. I wanted to bring it up because not many people may know who this legend, this super fan, this vice chairman was. And I'd recommend people would go out there and do a bit of research and read up a little bit on him, because that's your history. You're a Chelsea fan, that's your history. Big up to Couch Critic, big up to Eric Blue. Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing?
Good, man. I'm doing good. I'm sure Couch is doing good.
Just finished my work day. Work week is done. I'm great.
That's it. Weekend is coming.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're starting early tomorrow. 12:30 kickoff, lunchtime kickoff. I'm not sure how I feel about these lunchtime kickoffs.
Horrible.
But I mean, I'm barely awake by the time the game starts. I mean, Saturday is when you want to sleep in.
Well,
Bobby,
it's 7:30 for me, right?
7:30 a.m. Listen, move to London. The time zone is
you got a spot for me, man? I'm ready.
Hey, you know what? I've got a green screen, but if I take the green screen off, man, my apartment is really small. So I'll see what I can do. I'll see. If you come for a couple of days, I'll figure something out, man. I'll figure something out. Bobby Smoke Signals, big up to you. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, big up.
Big up.
Big up, Bobby.
Thanks for having me as always.
Pleasure.
Eric Blue, I see you up there in the corner. Dennis.
He's hiding. He's hiding behind my logo. Listen, people. Today we have an open stream, so I will be posting the link. 1 second. Here we go. I'm gonna be posting the link in the chat, because today I want to get as many people involved in the stream as possible. That being said, when I do an open stream from the beginning, I end up getting it filled quite quickly. So I will be keeping 2 spots open throughout the night for my regular panelists if they want to come in. So I'll be doing that. So maximum I'm going to take is 8 people. All right. So if you guys want to jump on, you got to get in there quickly. All right. The link is in the chat, and I have pinned it as a top comment. So so I pinned it in the comments. So if you guys want to come on, click on that link and jump on, and you can stay with us all night chatting about all the topics and the discussions that we're going to have in respect to the Norwich game tomorrow. Because today we've got a lot to talk about. The press conference was very interesting. We're going to address what Tuchel had to say in that press conference, and then we're going to go into the predicted lineup formation, and then we're going to just do some general talk regarding the stories and whatever the conversation takes us. We started early because we want to finish late. I want to give you a long stream. I want to discuss this game because I don't want to end the stream with people still having thoughts and opinions that they want to share and not getting an opportunity to share it. So we're going to be here for quite a while. So lads, go grab a drink, go get a snack, relax, chill out, get comfortable. Get comfortable because we're going to be here for a little while. So big up to everyone. Michael says Havertz needs to start tomorrow. I don't think he needs to start tomorrow. I don't think we have a choice, mate. I think he has to start. And Brian, big up to you. Always good to see you. You're saying afternoon. It's evening for me. Brian, I thought you were in the UK, unless I'm mistaken. Let me know where you're talking to us from, Brian. Abdul B, big up to you. Abdul B, just confirm, is the B stands for Bassett? Abdul Bassett? Because I'm trying to figure out what the B is. I'm guessing it's Abdul Bassett. So just let me know if I'm correct in the chat. We have Julius, my man. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, Julius?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you guys?
Brilliant.
Excellent, brother.
Fantastic.
How you doing?
Fantastic. Brilliant. Julius, I know you're probably at work and you're multitasking here, so we appreciate it. I'll try not to, get you to jump in at a point in time where you're actually doing something else. But big up to you and thank you for jumping on. Let's talk about the press conference. There was some interesting issues raised in that press conference, and I think the biggest one, which relates to what Michael was talking about, Havertz needing to start tomorrow, is Romelu Lukaku and Timo Werner are injured, confirmed, and they won't be available for apparently a couple of weeks. It's not as serious as we were thinking, because we were thinking maybe Romelu Lukaku is out for 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Timo Werner might be a month to 2 months kind of scenario, but it does look like it might just be for a couple of weeks, and maybe there will be training during the international break, and maybe they will be able to get back in after the international break. I mean, the way that Tuchel was speaking, we may see them just before the international break. Me personally, I hope we don't have to get them to play that early, because I'd rather see them take the international break off and actually stay at Cobham and train here rather than go on international duty. It's just the way I see it, and I hope that's what happens. Now, in regards to Pulisic, his injury is still there. It's still apparent. So Pulisic is still unavailable, and it's not clear how long he's going to be out for. And Tuchel also addressed that, talking about he's trying to be as transparent as he can be in respect to the injuries, and sometimes the fan base thinks that he's trying to mislead them, but that isn't the case. It's just sometimes injuries are a little bit unpredictable, and that was the case in respect to Pulisic. Now, he also was asked a question in regards to I don't want to butcher his name, because if I butcher his name, it's going to sound really bad. But the manager of Norwich, Farke. Did I say it, Farke?
Yeah.
Fuck. See, I told you I was a butcher it. I told you I didn't want to do it, and I ended up doing it. But the manager of Norwich, he talked about him and how much respect he has for him, and how they they had some interactions in the past at a manager level, at a assistant manager level. But the issue that was raised in regards to the way that Norwich are playing Billy Gilmour and the lack of game time that Billy Gilmour had, and what was our standpoint, Chelsea, Tuchel, what was his standpoint in respect to that? And it was very interesting the way that he responded, and I respect him for responding in that way, because I think that is the way to go. And he said, we cannot force a player to be given time. The player himself needs to play well enough and get himself into the team. Because if you have a top class player, you're going to play him rather than keeping him on the bench. So what he was trying to do was send a message to Billy Gilmour, and he was saying to him, look, you want to be up there with the best of them, you're going to have to grind, and you're going to have to work hard, and you're going to have to get into the starting lineup for Norwich. Which is good, because this is what going on loan is all about. The players are going out on loan to adjust, to adapt, to learn, to get the experience. And it isn't just playing football, kicking the ball around on the pitch. It's everything that comes with that, the whole package. Trying to get the respect of the manager. Couch.
I just got a quick inquiry because, I think that, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously you send a kid on loan because you assume that the playing style of the squad that he's going to will suit him and help him get to the next level of his career, right? Whether it be, spot starts here and there, or, regular rotational player. And I just don't know, if I look at what Norwich does on the pitch, I don't even know if their playing style suits what Billy Gilmour is. So I actually question the loan in and of itself. Why are you loaning him there?
I'll get to that. I'll get to that, Couch. I'll get to that. I think what Tuchel was addressing in the press conference was he was trying to pass a message to Billy Gilmour in a way to show him that you are a Chelsea player. We are looking out for you. We do want you back here, and you do have a chance to come back here and to be successful. But you got to do it over there first. You're out there. Get yourself into the team. Get yourself recognized by the manager, who, in my opinion, is one of the best and who's a good manager. So get there. Pull your finger out and get on with it. That was a good message from Tuchel to Billy Gilmour. He also talked a little bit about the style of play and the system, which is something that we will probably touch on when we get to the formation and the lineup. But that was the press conference in a nutshell. I'm going to let Couch Critic come in and address his perspective on the Billy Gilmour situation. But I want to give a couple of minutes to everyone to tell me what their thoughts are in regards to the press conference and in regards to the injury situation that we have. I know we addressed it a little bit yesterday, but I want to address it now. Keeping in mind what Tuchel had to say. So, Couch, take it away, mate.
Okay. With regards to the injuries, I don't think that he tipped his hand a lot. He did say that minimum this. He didn't really give us absolutes there, but when they're going to be back, yes. And he was kind of keeping it open ended in terms of because he actually even referenced the Pulisic thing where he said, it was 10 days and, he's getting vilified in the media, calling him a liar and stuff like that. So I think he was really careful about what he was saying about them. He says they will not be playing the next game, the Southampton game, and then after that, we'll see. So the way I take that is it's probably not a serious injury that these guys have taken, but they're going to be day to day until they're not. So it's going to be a while before we actually get any real understanding of when they're going to be back in the squad. Pulisic, I don't know, man. You guys have heard me, go on and on about this guy forever now. I really think that this is an opportunity for him to really announce himself again back to the Chelsea supporters and the squad, because we need him now. We just need him now, and he's still not ready to go. yeah, I would love to see him at least back for the Southampton game because, man, like it's just been so long. Like, anyways, I don't want to keep waffling on about Pulisic. With regards to Billy Gilmour, yeah, I'm just kind of a little like mystified as to what they saw in Norwich and Fokker that made them think that like that was like where that was a suitable place to loan him, because it doesn't seem to me as though their playing style even complements what Billy does on the pitch really well. So, and to be honest with you, they don't like you want to loan somebody somewhere where they have a similar playing style to how we play, so that he's learning a style of football that we can now incorporate into our game and whatnot. And I just don't think that that's happening at all, right? Like, he's nice on the ball. He moves the ball quickly, and he likes to dictate tempo. I don't see any of that, like any of those skill sets being utilized in that Norwich squad right now. And obviously he's small and they're obviously being made to defend a lot, which clearly isn't his strong suit at this point. So I just question what they were hoping to get out of this loan. Like, what were they thinking was going to happen? It has to go beyond just getting him minutes onto the pitch, because there has to be a natural fit there, right? And this is not the first time this has happened. Like even with Ampadu, when we loaned Ampadu to Sheffield, and then we loaned him to Leipzig. Like, those are not good loans.
True. True. Yeah. The thing is, Couch, I think we as a team, we play with the ball. I mean, I think we've had, on average, 70% ball possession this season, which is a lot of possession. Now, Norwich, they're lucky if they get 30, 35, 40% possession in their games, because most of the time they're sitting back and trying to keep the goals out. You know what I mean? I mean, they're struggling. They're struggling. They literally lost every game up until the last two fixtures, and there was two draws. I think they were both 0-0 draws. Okay, so they are struggling, and I mean, yes, they've had some tough oppositions recently, but I agree with you. Billy Gilmour playing for Norwich, it's not really going to develop him in the way that we want him to play for Chelsea. Keeping the ball, passing the ball well, building up play. In Norwich, he's probably going to learn how to defend better, maybe. So yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna give Josh B a chance to come in. Josh B is one of the subscribers here from the chat. So welcome to the panel. I hope we get you interacting with us a lot tonight. Give me your thoughts on the press conference, Josh. Josh, can you hear us? Josh.
Hello.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm good.
Josh, give me your thoughts on the press conference. What do you think of Tuchel's press conference today?
I won't lie, I haven't watched it yet.
No, okay. That's not helpful, Josh. That's not helpful. Come on, man. I'll tell you what, Josh.
I saw it, but I forgot to watch it. I saw it on the.
Do you know what he said? I mean, did you read the articles? Do you know what
Yeah, about Lukaku and Werner out and.
Give me your impression. Give me your impression. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your thoughts on it.
Lukaku and Werner out is a big loss for us, and I think Kai Havertz now needs to step up if he wants to be in the starting lineup as well. And I think that's his opportunity now to prove to Tuchel that he can be in the starting lineup with Lukaku up front. And it will give more game time to other people like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, all of the Ross Barkley. Like, now they have the opportunity to play like more games.
Okay. I want to ask you in regards to what Couch was just talking about with the loan deal for Billy Gilmour. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it was a good deal? Do you think we should bring him back in January? How do you see it? What's your opinion?
I think he should stay there.
Okay.
Because he's not going to get any game time here. Like right now, he's not gonna get any game time. But when I see Billy Gilmour play in Norwich, it doesn't suit him. Like seeing him play, it just I don't know. It just doesn't feel like he wants to be there or like they want him there playing. I think they just saw a loan and they just wanted to get it and like snatch it straight away.
So they wanted to give their squad a bit of depth, and they thought Billy Gilmour come in will do that for them rather than wanting him to help him out in the team. All right, good points, Josh. Appreciate it. I want to say big up to Mo. Mo, how are you? Welcome back. Big up to you.
I'm good.
Good, Mo. Good. All right. I'm gonna go with Bobby, Eric Blue, Julius, then Mo. So we'll do it that way. I want each one of you to give me the thoughts and opinions on the press conference, and then we'll discuss it together. Then we'll move over and do the lineup. So let's give. Oh, before I give Bobby a chance to come in, lads, we are on 20 likes, and we have 20 people in the stream. So them numbers are good, but I have a feeling some of you guys in the stream haven't hit that like button yet. And if you want to get people into the stream, then you got to help me by hitting that like button, because by you hitting that like button, people are going to get notified of the stream and we'll get more people in here. We'll have a good little banter discussion and just get more people interacting with the stream. So do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. And if you're new to the Blue Lounge, subscribe. You'll enjoy it, I promise. Bobby, let me hear your thoughts on the press conference, mate.
Yeah, okay. Here goes. Press, injuries, Gilmour. Right, the press conference. One thing that resonates in my mind, which I really loved that Tuchel said, is that he said, and I quote, "We will find solutions." That means everything to me. We have the solutions. He's going to use the solutions. He doesn't think inside a box. He doesn't think, oh, so-and-so can't play here, so-and-so can't play here, because he's played them there during training sessions. So he kind of has a good idea of how to use his players. And yet again, we will see some surprises. And why are they surprises to us? Is because this is his first full season. And he's now having the opportunity to exercise the squad he's got. So in a way, I'm kind of looking forward to this period of time without Lukaku and Werner. Maybe biting my nails a bit until it actually kicks off. But, you know, we have to remain excited because we've got the players to compensate if we play slightly differently. Now, the injuries themselves. Pulisic, well, we've said a lot about him and we know, it is what it is. I have my in-depth feeling about it, but I think I've come to accept that he's just going to be one of those players. And, he'll be a bit of now you see me, now you don't sort of thing. As far as Werner and Havertz is concerned, I'm hopeful that their injuries are not as severe as they could be. But I think the club will be more than foolish not to use this opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. And by that, I mean to get them their injuries healed and then recovered, and to get them rest time. So we take these 3 games before the international break, plus the international break, to get these guys down, up on their feet. It's not cheating. They need both. They need to recover from their injuries. They need the physical rest and they need the mental rest. Now, moving on to Gilmour.
Well, Bobby, I just love the way you're doing this, man. It's like step by step, one at a time. It's like a financial report, it's like a statement. Brilliant. I'm loving it.
Just answering your question, the final piece, Gilmour. Gilmour wanted to go on loan. I have a feeling Chelsea probably didn't want him to go on loan. The famous word "game
That's
time" was bandied
Bob,
around.
Bobby. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we talked about this a few streams back
Yeah.
about Billy Gilmore being sent out alone. Was that the right decision to be made by the club? They maybe a good guy and make a mistake there. Today, it became apparent that it was his choice.
Yeah.
Billy Gilmore wanted to go, and up until Tuchel saying that, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that he wanted to go. I thought he might have been pushed. I thought someone else might have suggested it, but apparently he requested this, which is an important thing to keep in mind when we're talking about his situation. And I apologize for interrupting you, Bobby, but I just wanted to say that.
No, that's fine, and that's absolutely right. I didn't want to hit it so squarely on the head, but that's the truth. Gilmore and the Gilmore family per se wanted this guy to go on loan because all the pressure and hype given around the word game time, which to me is a huge misnomer, in my opinion, in many instances. Not in every instance, like MTD Mo had actually alluded to a very, very important point, which I've always held on to. People coming or young players coming back from severe injury need to get out there and just play. Doesn't matter how you play, just run around on the pitch and get that muscle memory back. Now, Gilmore's case is that he wanted to get out there and to perform. Now people have to understand, teams aren't queuing up to take your players on loan. You're lucky if you can get anyone to take your players on loan, especially in the Premier League. They're looking for the best they can get. They've got enough to develop, not to mention developing yours, as for Norwich actually alluded to. He said, I'm not here to develop Man United and Chelsea players. Now, since Gilmore wanted to go out on loan, believing he can now compete with the best, it is up to him to step up to the plate. And I can assure you the reason why Billy Gilmore is being benched by Norwich is he's not quite good enough yet. That's just the reality. We can't live in hype. Even if we like him, we can't, we're doing him no favors by pretending he's Iniesta. He's very far from it. He's challenged in two ways. One, the experience. Two, physicality. And he's in a struggling club that in the EPL, it's all about physicality. I have watched Billy in Norwich. I watched them against Liverpool, and I watched their first game of the season. I was alarmed. I have to say, I was alarmed. He was bundled, pressed, pushed out, and he had a few touches, as he does, but he was out of his depth. That's the reality. Can he learn from it? Of course he can. Will he get the opportunity? Now it's doubtful, because the more they struggle, the less they're going to want to give him that opportunity. They'll rather get one of their burly guys from their reserves and put him in there to take in a tackle or two. So Billy's in a bit of a sticky situation. Either he really steps up his game, which would be a bit challenging for him to do, or he resigns himself to the fact that, look, this may not work out as he wanted it to, and he should get back to Chelsea, talk to them. Look, where do you see my future? How do you want to develop me? You want me to stay and play with the midfielders around me? I might have to take that option. It's not a bad option, because he will get to play, maybe not week in, week out, but he will slowly develop. And if he proves himself, look at the end of last season. We started relying on Billy because he was with the guys around him that could make him that player. Look at Christensen. What's happened with him playing next to Thiago Silva? There is scope within the squad. If he wants another loan, okay, fine. Maybe this time it might be better for him to go to somewhere like Vitesse, where he will get to play and the pace and strength is less vicious. Now, will he develop from that?
And they're a better team than Tottenham.
Absolutely. Yeah. 1-0 to Vitesse. Absolutely. But will he develop from that? I don't know. Did it do Billy Mason Mount harm? It didn't. But I think Billy's just that little bit further ahead than Mason was when he went to Vitesse. That's my introductory report.
If that's the introduction, I want to see the conclusion, man. So that's a mad one. Listen, Bobby. You made some very, very good points there, and the most important one, in my opinion, is what Billy Gilmour is experiencing now. Because, like you said, Billy Gilmour playing with Chelsea is a different game. He has quality all around him, and they're able to assist and support him, and he can play off that quality. And what we were talking about with Couch in regards to possession, a possession-based system where we have the ball. Billy Gilmour is able to do a lot more when he has that ball. When it comes to the game that he's playing now, it's a different football game, because now he's got to work hard without the ball. He's learning a different game, and it's not easy. And I agree with you. We should not be the ones to build them up so high that they're gonna fall, such a long distance. Because end of the day, the guy is young. The guy has a lot of experience to gain, and I think this loan deal may not be perfect, but it will definitely improve him moving forward. I want to bring in Eric Blue. Eric Blue, big up to you. How you doing? Eric Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. You're there.
I'm
Brilliant.
there.
Brilliant.
I'm here.
I thought you went away to get make a coffee or something. And
No. I'm here this time.
tell me your thoughts, Eric. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, okay. I have a few things to say, but I'm sure you'll bring Redneck in soon. Okay, I'll start with the lineup for tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what Tuchel does. I don't believe that he fully trusts Callum Hudson-Odoi to play on the left in that front three. So it's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens. It's a big blow because we've lost two of our strikers, or two, the two players that we traditionally, understand to be strikers. Obviously, Tuchel plays Werner, not as a striker, and he plays Havertz as the second striker. So I'm expecting Havertz to be down the middle. I'm actually struggling now to think of who else can play. It's almost like Callum Hudson-Odoi has to play just because there's nobody else. But I still feel like Tuchel doesn't fully trust him there, and it should be very interesting to see what happens. Lukaku and Werner being out is a big blow because I'm very curious to see where the goals will come from, because every time Chelsea has...
Eric, I want to interrupt you for 1 second. Are you saying that we don't have support for Havertz? Is that what you're saying? It's not clear to me.
What I'm saying is the way the team functions, I'm not too sure how it's going to work without both of those players, because Werner is usually always there.
Yep.
He's always available to play. And obviously, since we got Lukaku, he's been the guy who plays almost every game. So, yeah, I'm struggling to see what happens there. But yeah, going back to the absences, I think we might. Do I need to?
No, you're good. But Josh has got his hand up, so I'm curious to see what he wants. Go on, Josh. What is it?
When you guys are saying support, I think Hudson-Odoi and Havertz are like a good what's it called, chemistry.
Yes, that's a very good point. They've linked up a few times, 2 or 3 times. I remember they've always connected with each other. I think I just remember the West Brom match. Cho did a 1-2 with Havertz, and he scored. I think it was the second goal before Tammy equalized, and we managed to get a 3-3 draw. He scored at home against Man City when we lost 3-1 under Lampard. That was the only goal that we scored. Havertz had the assist for Callum's goal. I think 1 or 2 other situations. So that's a very good point. They have a connection there, and I hope Tuchel. Honestly, like I'm tired of seeing Callum as a wing back. He's not a wing back. So hopefully we just see a little bit more. I know people will probably say he doesn't deserve it. Why should he play? But the way I see it, his last match that he started, I think he was pretty good. And I think we should just try and trust him and see what happens. but we'll see. I'm very curious, and obviously the way the team plays, you should be very. I have no idea how the team's gonna function and how we're going to create chances and score goals. Because, like I said, Werner is usually involved when Lukaku isn't there. Lukaku has gotten some goals himself, even though he hasn't really clicked with the team. So that's an interesting one. Billy Gilmore. I completely understand what Mr. Couch was saying about Billy.
Mr. Couch? No, it's Mr. Couch.
Yeah, I call him Mr. Couch. Yeah. Billy is I think he's a very talented player. Nobody everybody knows, every Chelsea player, every Chelsea fan knows how talented he is. And we just need to get the best out of him. Everybody's different. Some players need that game time. Some players don't. I don't think it's a obvious. It's a case by case thing. Everybody's different, and Billy felt that he needed the game time himself. He could have warmed the bench again this season and played like maybe 5 games, but he decided not to do that. I commend his decision to try and get some more game time, because you can get experience on the training ground, but you can also get experience with playing more games and getting used to the physicality, like Bobby was mentioning. So yes, I completely agree with what Mr. Couch said in terms of we don't really see what is working. We don't see what the plan was with Gilmore at Norwich. I don't really see what the idea was there, but from what Tuchel said, I think he's basically saying that I'm sure he had a conversation with Farka, and they have an idea of what they want to do with Gilmore, but Gilmore obviously has to do, if he's not getting as much game time as Tuchel thinks he should get, that must mean that maybe he's just not doing something. And it's always difficult with these loan moves, because you can easily say, okay, Billy is not getting involved because he's not doing enough. And maybe that's the case in this scenario, because there's a connection there, there's a relationship there. And I'm sure they had an agreement of how much he would play and all that. But generally speaking, the lone players don't really get involved. The coach is more likely to trust people who are, players of the club 100%, people who have signed permanent deals with the club. They're more likely to focus on those players than players who are just, there for a season, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that one, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm not too worried about it. It's just, Gallagher was another one. We didn't, it wasn't mentioned. I just wanted to add that as well. The loan last season to West Brom was not very, it was a waste of time loan. But obviously this season is better. So it's, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
No, yeah, I agree that the loan situation is not been ideal for Chelsea recently. But I think we addressed that in the last transfer window, whereby we made sales on players that we normally wouldn't sell. We tried to loan them, so we have reduced the numbers, and I think that has generated funds, and I think we might do that again in the next coming windows. The likes of Ross Barkley, maybe he's putting in some good shifts right now, and his price would increase a little bit. He'd be more attractive to some clubs. While in the past he might not have been. So there is developments in regards to that aspect. I want to bring in Julius. Julius, how are you? Welcome to the stream, and tell me your thoughts on the press conference, mate. And I hope you watched it, because the last couple of times you didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I watched the first, I think, 5-6 minutes of it, maybe, if not more. But I did catch that he talked about the injury of Romelu Lukaku and Werner, and I liked his attitude regarding how we will find solutions, and that confidence and assurance. Also, I think that's very beneficial for the other team members to feel that they are also very important, and that we don't only rely on Lukaku or Werner to score goals or to step up. So I think that was a very smart press conference from Tuchel. He looked very calm and not panicking, and he seemed very assured that we will be just fine without our 2 strikers. which hopefully can have some impact on Havertz if he's the one that we will rely on up front, and maybe he can score some goals for us. Trying to remember what else did he talk about.
The Billy Gilmore situation and Bobby, remind me. You got the list. You got the list there somewhere. Was the yes, Billy Gilmore situation.
Billy and injuries.
He's injured.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to mention one thing more about injuries as well. About like in general, Werner Christensen also was injured. I was surprised actually when I saw the lineup against Malmo. I felt we went in with a very strong lineup against a very mediocre, at most, team. We should have, I think, rotated more. And I think if that happened, that we would have not have had that many injuries. It was, I think, unnecessary to play or our starting players against Malmo, but I think Tuchel just wanted to secure the Champions League and maybe try to even win the group stage, because we still have a chance to beat Juve at home and go on top. So I think it was a little bit mismanagement from Tuchel, to be honest, with the starting lineup. I don't think it was necessary to play Lukaku and Werner and all the top players. But regarding Gilmore, I was against the loan to Norwich. I always, and you remember last season at the end of it, I always said I think Gilmore is good enough to start, and I even had him above Jorginho, to be honest, at some point. The guy, every time he played, even in Euros, he was the best player for Scotland. Most of the time he played for us, he won how many man of the matches? 4, 5 of them? I don't know.
Against big teams and good performances he put in. He did. Yeah, I guess Liverpool, I think, and I guess Everton and
against Man City as well.
Yeah.
So
he put in some good performances.
Yeah, I don't understand why he was loaned, to be fair, when we have and nothing against Barkley. He's been decent.
Sorry, Julius. Yeah, I think that's one bit you missed. He wanted to go out alone. And that's why he was loaned.
Right.
He requested it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to interrupt you for 1 second, Julius. While I've got Jem in the chat, people, me and Jem are working on a project. I can't give any details yet, but stay tuned to the Blue Lounge and stay tuned to GNA TV. There's gonna be something special coming your way very, very soon. So that's all I can say. Just stay tuned. Sorry, Julius, carry on, man.
No worries.
I had to drop it. Go on, Julius.
Yeah, stay tuned. Be excited. No idea what the hell we're talking about, but I know it's gonna be good.
It's happening soon. No, for real. There's something that we're working on that is gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be a different way of addressing certain stuff. It's gonna. You guys are pushing me to tell you what it is, isn't it? I'm not gonna do that. Just stay tuned. Subscribe to the Blue Lounge and subscribe to GNA TV. All right, carry on, Julius. Carry on.
Yeah. So no, to the point that he wanted to go on loan. I think we should have given him more assurance and we should have given him more confidence that he's a big part of the team and he will be maybe starting a lot of these games. But I don't have much to comment about the press conference other than I was very impressed with Tuchel's confidence, and he was strategic about it. He was smart the way he
normally is. Yeah. No. I think the injuries. Like we said, I think it was yesterday. Blessing in disguise, maybe. Kai Havertz, he emphasized the fact that he is a 9 rather than what we see him as a false 9, because that's how Lampard kind of incorporated him into his system, while as Tuchel is prepared to play him as an out-and-out striker. So there's a lot of elements that will be visible over the next few games that might be just as exciting as watching Lukaku attempt to score recently. And I know that's going to get a few people angry, but it's an attempt because he's not been doing it right now. Let's move and talk to Mo MDT. Give me your thoughts on the press conference, Mo.
Hi, everyone.
Big up to you, Mo.
With regard to the press conference, Tuchel was very calm. I mean, it's like a next man up attitude, which is great for everybody because that means that he has confidence in the whole squad, and they have to just prove themselves. And regarding injuries happen. That's what he said. It happens in season, and we just have to deal with it. And you see, he kept insisting on like Mason Mount playing too many games and Jorginho as well, which we keep talking about it. People think it's just a word saying, but even the coach keep mentioning it. Certain players have played too many games in the last 18 months. So the manager keeps, which is good. He knows what he's doing. And I don't know whether any of you guys read the press. You know, he did two press conferences, one for the TV and one for the press. Did you guys read the press as well?
I haven't, no.
He spoke about Hakim Ziyech as well there.
Can you tell us what was said?
Yes. You know, remember a few streams back, I told you guys about the shoulder injury not being healed. Tuchel believe that's what bothering him. He's not moving properly, and his movement and his balance is wrong. That's why it's affecting him to do most things. Yeah. He cannot switch play, he cannot turn. Yeah, he mentioned that. So I mentioned this few streams back. It's not like I'm making excuse for people. Injuries, I know about them, how they affect somebody. And when it comes to the match, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the performance on it. The injuries are something we have to deal with, and the manager is happy to go with these lads that are available right now, which I'm okay with. With Billy Gilmore. Billy Gilmore listened to the Scotland manager and the press and the family. He should have looked at Ampadu. Ampadu did the same mistake. He broke into the Chelsea team. He was doing well. All of a sudden, the Wales manager and everybody in the press, he need game time. Graham Souness said it. He said, I don't agree with him on anything. He said, Ampadu should stay and learn and play. Even 10 game or 15 game at Chelsea is better than going to a poor team and play 30 games. And he said it again with Billy Gilmore. Well, Billy Gilmore wanted to go on loan like Ampadu. Ampadu wanted to go on loan. You know, the loan system is different. That's what people don't understand. If you have injury as a young player, when you come back, you should go. That's correct. Nothing wrong with that. But if you break into the first team, you're playing few games like Phil Foden and them lot. If you go on loan, the next academy player will take your place. That's what happened. Billy Gilmore, this was a mistake. When Ampadu left, what happened? Mason Mount took his place. Okay. And Ampadu has left now. Ruben has come back from injury. He's looking good. Even if...
Mo, I'm getting some feedback on your mic.
Sorry. Let me check.
Can I just quickly jump in on that? Because I think that's a good point. But the other thing that I find happens when you go on loan and like for umpteen loans, you just lose the connection with the club though too, right? You know, you don't necessarily have that same sort of like squad building, like what it means to be Chelsea. You know, like I feel like Ampadu's on the outside looking in again. And you can probably say that about a few other guys as well, right? When you just go on loan and you're not really building with the current squad, then you try and come back in and you're not really, you know, there's no chemistry there, right? So I don't know. I'm not too convinced with this loan thing myself either.
I've lost Mo. I've lost him. It's your fault, Couch. You cut him up and he's lost him.
Yeah, man. He's got to pay his internet bill, man.
He's back. Here we go. Mo, you're on mute. You're on mute, Mo.
Sorry. Like I was saying with them making that mistake going out on loan. When you go out on loan, what happens is another player will take your place. That's always been the case. That's why when you break into the team, you shouldn't go on loan. You should fight for your place. Like people like Conor Gallagher and before that Mason Mount, they didn't break into the first team. They were loan players. They were trying to break into the team. For them, it's different. Because they've never played for the first team, it's different. But once you break into a first team, if you leave on loan, you're in trouble of losing your place. That's happening in any team. Any team you look at, that's the same thing. I don't understand who is advising these young players that break into the first team and advising them to go on loan. If you go on loan, you're not coming back.
Mo, I have a question for you. I have a question. You mentioned Ampadu, and I'm not sure Ampadu broke into the team. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just didn't seem. I'm not sure if he actually broke into the team.
Eric,
You're not wrong.
Look at his trajectory. Look at his trajectory when he was under Conte and the way he was being developed, and then he just fell off a cliff, literally.
Thank you. No, breaking into the team doesn't mean that you play every game. It means like you play every the cup games and every other games, and when there's injury. That's what breaking into the team. That's how you get into the team, bit by bit. Okay, but if you leave, another person is taking that position, and if that person prove themselves, you're not gonna displace them. That's what happened, because as soon as you leave the club, what you're looking from outside in, you have to do something excellent for them for you to come back into the team. Now,
I just thought about someone else. So what about Anjurin? Did Anjurin make a mistake?
Eric, can we get Mo to finish his point, and then
I'm sorry.
We'll open the discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Tino Anjurin is not coming back. That's why I didn't want him to go. Once you have 2-3 games for the first team and they have hope in it, because right now he's forgotten person. That's the thing about the loan system. You can leave on loan before you play for the first team, but once you play 2, 3, 4, 5 games for the first team, you will struggle to come back. Just look at record-wise. Just look at it in history of football. It's very rare that happens. Okay, that's my take on the Gilmore side.
Do you have anything else to add in regards to the press conference?
No, I'm happy with Tuchel's attitude, and I'm happy with that.
All right, brilliant. I think he makes some good points in regards to the loans, and it's definitely something that I think we are getting better at. But I think it's still not perfect. It's still not fixed. It needs to be addressed. I'm going to bring in Redneck Blue. Redneck Blue, welcome to the stream. How you doing, my man?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the press conference today, mate.
Well, it's always always a pleasure. MDT, somebody that older, but I completely see different what you see from the loan system. Loan system wasn't developed for every player. Every player is not going to make a Chelsea. But
sorry, sorry, just to interrupt you for a second. We're going to get into discussing the points
okay.
that have been
raised. It is Billy Gilmore discussion, right?
No. We're talking about the press conference. We're talking about
which was Billy Gilmore's loan.
What was one of the points? The injury situation, the striker situation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So in a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I don't think we will be fine. I don't think Lukaku is going to be a big miss. First of all, it's because the game we'll play, and second of all, it's because we played without Lukaku for almost a season, and we were doing fine. So I don't know. I don't think Lukaku is going to be that important of a miss as before, as people think. Especially the games that we play in is not as big games. That's one. Another thing, Ziyech, I knew his shoulder is bothering him, and it was not a secret. I don't know why Tuchel had to address it, because he said that the shoulder injury that he had, he decided not to do the surgery. That's why he's struggling. It's Mo Salah's injury. He needed to do the surgery in the summer. And Ziyech knew that. If he would have done the surgery, he would have missed the whole season. That's what's the problem with Ziyech is he decided not to do the surgery. He will be available.
Redneck, from what I understand, you work in the medical industry, I believe. So you have an insight when it comes to injuries and how long it takes a player to heal. In regards to this type of injury, a shoulder injury, you will get to a stage where you are able to play. But how restricting will it be? I mean, how much restrictions?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Basically, what you try to control is liquid in the injured area. What happens is, if you tear something, the liquid absorbs. It becomes a little. When people say swelling, where's the swelling come from? It's not the air that makes the swelling; it's the liquid that's there. So you try to compress it. You try to reduce the swelling. By reducing the swelling, you can do a couple of things. You can get the shot, like a cortisone shot, that will reduce the swelling. The problem with that is if you keep doing the same shots, it actually makes ligaments weaken. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you keep giving the same shot, it will make. That's what I think actually happened with Gareth Bale with his ankle. Like, he has same injury. That's what happened with Hazard, because he needed the surgery, but Real Madrid did not want the surgery because they don't have excuse, like saying we pay just 150 million something dollars for a player that actually cannot play because he needs the surgery. So they try to go around it and hold on to the Hazard, but end up at the end, same as we end up at the Ziyech. He should have done the surgery. We will miss him for 6 months, but he will be at the end of the season. Now we're at the point where we do with Ziyech. Now with surgery is too late. If he would do it, he will completely miss the season. So we have to manage it that way. But the shoulder, it's I'm assuming it's something close to a rotating cuff, and that's a whole your mobility, because you have to turn your hips by first moving your shoulders. You're moving your shoulders to move your hips to kick the ball, and that's what Ziyech, one of his best attributes is the pass that cross the field, the ball that he's going across for a pass. That's what probably bothers him. That's just what I'm not a physician. Don't get me wrong. I can't say what I do, but I'm not a physician. But I work in an emergency room.
Sure.
Anyway, and
thanks for the insight.
Another thing is, it's not a secret I'm not a Lukaku's fan. I'm not a big Lukaku's fan because when we bought him, I know he wasn't the first choice. I just know he wasn't the first choice. Based on how we played, I didn't think he was suited to a system. Based on how Tuchel liked to play, I didn't think Lukaku was suited for a system. So for me, I think Kai Havertz is more number 9 than the way Tuchel sees us. I think Kai Havertz is better number 9 than Lukaku at this moment. I'm not saying it can't be worked on around it in the future. You see what I'm saying? So that's just it. And the loan system we can talk about it later.
Sure. Redneck, thank you very much. I'm going to bring in Big Papa. I'm doing it in the queue that you came into the stream. So I'm just who came in first is normally getting the time to talk. So Big Papa, you were in next. How are you? How you doing? Big Papa, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, hello guys.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me your thoughts on the press conference, mate. He addressed a few issues: Billy Gilmour, injuries, the striker situation, Havertz. So give me your general thoughts on the Tuchel press conference.
Yeah, I think we know. I think listening to Tuchel's press conferences are good. I mean, he gives us. Sometimes the journalists don't ask the right questions, but at least he still tries to give like enlightening and good information. So it leaves. It doesn't leave. There's not too much ambiguity with the things he says. So yeah, the press conference was good. It was a good press conference. I think for the injuries, looking at our fixtures, we should be fine because. Timo Werner didn't score too many goals last season. I think he had 10 in all, 10 or 11, I forget. So I don't think and Lukaku hasn't scored in the last 3 or 4 fixtures. So ideally we've not been relying on them to win games per se. So I think we should be fine. We should be fine.
Do you think it's a blessing in disguise that the fact we're going to have to resort or use a different attacking setup because of injuries? Maybe
it might be a blessing, because there are certain things that baffle me about Tuchel's system. I don't think, maybe I don't have the knowledge to understand why he makes the choices he makes sometimes. Because a player like Ruben, I think, would benefit from being in the attacking quadrant of our team. Yeah, just because he makes better decisions, he is more composed on the ball when he's put under pressure in those tight situations, right? Somebody like Callum, I think it's the same, right? Somebody like Mount is a good player, but maybe he's not the best player to be playing so advanced, because he doesn't score too many goals, and it looks like he makes a lot of chance creation actions, but they are not really that good. He doesn't really create good or high quality chances, right? Yeah, maybe a lot of high volume actions with not too much quality once in a while. So maybe we should consider a player like Barkley, right? Because Barkley can shoot, and Barkley too give him a chance as well, right? Maybe not a start, but he can also come in the game, because we have him as a bench player, and if we have injuries, eventually we'll need to rely on him. So give him the chance to build confidence, so that when we need to rely on him, he will be able to give us a good output. Right. So that's those are my thoughts on the injuries.
I think in regards to Ross Barkley, he's definitely a player that gives us depth in the squad. Do I think Mason Mount is lacking when it comes to chance creation? No, I think Mason Mount is probably just as creative as some of the other players. I think, however, he doesn't have the same experience as some of the other players. He is still quite young. He is still learning the game, and he is, for the short period of time that he's been doing this, he's had to adapt from being out alone to playing for Derby, playing for Chelsea under Lampard, and Tuchel coming in. So he's also adapting quite quickly to a new system.
How does he compare to a player like Phil Foden, do you think? How does he compare to Phil Foden?
I don't think Phil Foden has had the turbulent ride that Mason Mount has had, but I think they are both very good players. I think they are both at the same level when it comes in regards to their development and potential. Who will be more successful? Well, as it is, Mason Mount is a champion of Europe. Phil Foden hasn't achieved that just yet. So, in my opinion, Mason Mount is a little bit ahead when it comes to achievements. But in regards to potential, they're probably at the same kind of level. I'm going to bring in Kasim. Big Papa, thank you for your input. Kasim, let me hear your thoughts on this press conference. Welcome to the stream. Big up to you, my man.
Hi, Mo. Thanks for having me. How's everyone? Okay.
Good.
Yeah. To be fair, mate, the briefest guy had some very, very good points. He's got good knowledge in football, really. Regarding the press conference, I'm alright, but he highlighted the previous guy. Werner scoring, Lukaku in terrible form. So it could be blessing me 100%. The like of Hudson-Odoi, Werner, and Havertz, they have to step in now, and I think they're going to be alright. And it could be a good thing as well, because if it happened in December and January, November, end of November, it'd be worrying time, because it's 2 games a week, this period. But now it's happening now, right? End of October, and the run will go like Norwich, we've got Newcastle, we've got Burnley before international, because Tuchel said he'll be back by international, which is 3 weeks. So basically, that 3 weeks rest for, say, both of them. I think it's a good news. We need to go there and we'll get the 3 points, and we can do that. We've got a big squad. We've got talented lads. I think we'll be all right. I'm not worried whatsoever, Mo. Regarding Ziyech, man, I heard that news about his shoulder thing, and Ziyech is, I don't know. I think he's an issue with the club, with the manager. I don't know. I don't know.
One second, Kasim.
Yeah.
Redneck, thank you for coming on, mate. I hope to see you in the future streams, man. Take care.
Yeah, man.
Cheers. Thank you.
CMGT.
Go on, Kasim.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so no, I'm quite confident, Mo. I'm quite confident. We've got enough player, big squad to deal with the next 3 games. We'll be all right.
All right, brilliant. Well, I just want to clarify a couple of things. Based on what everyone has just said. When I say a blessing in disguise, guys, I am never going to say having our players injured is a blessing. That is not what I'm implying. What I am saying is, this injury may have some positive outcomes. So let's look at it as a glass half full rather than a glass half empty, because we may get some rest time for the players, even though Tuchel emphasized that these players don't need rest because of their physicality, but they need rest because of their mentality, because they've been busy for such a long period of time, with 2 seasons being bridged by an international tournament and whatnot. So having this rest will be beneficial. So that is what I'm talking about in regards to the blessing, not the fact that they are injured. That's number one. Number two, I think other players will be given opportunities to regain some form, regain some fitness, as well as playing time, and that is the other side of it. Anyway, great input, some great points being raised by everyone. Redneck, thanks for coming on. I really enjoyed hearing his insight in respect to the shoulder injury and how that pans out, because it's not always an opportunity to have a medical professional in your stream who can explain it to you in that way. So big up to him. I want to give you guys 5 to 10 minutes to address any points that anybody else made before we go into the formation. I know Eric had some points he wanted to make, and so did Couch. So I'll give you guys 5 to 10 minutes to address those before we move over to the formation. Couch, you can jump in, if you can start off if you want.
Sure. I don't know. I'm optimistic, and I share the same opinion as you guys, that these are opportunities that the squad can use and make us deeper. Like we could give people opportunities, and it will probably make our squad deeper if they seize these opportunities, create competitions where we didn't think we had them before. But I don't want to say it, but like I haven't seen it. Like when you say Kai Havertz is a 9, like he hasn't shown me that he's a 9. He hasn't shown me that yet.
Tuchel thinks he can do it.
I agree. I think he works in Tuchel's system as a 9, because Tuchel doesn't necessarily play with him recognized number 9. He's played with Aubameyang, he's playing at Mbappe, like Neymar. These guys aren't like out and out number 9s, right? So maybe within Tuchel's system, it could work. I just don't think that he's as clinical as you want your 9s to be, for me. And to be honest, I don't want to say that I'm worried about these games, because I don't want to bring any bad vibes, but I don't know where we're going to get the box presence from. I don't know who's going to be getting on the end of these chances. I haven't seen that yet. Like with what's left in the squad, like we can say, Kai Havertz is going to play the shadow striker. He's going to play like the false 9 or whatever, but who's going to finish these chances? Like who's the guys creating these chances for us? That's where my worry is. And I'm hoping that, obviously Tuchel is a much smarter mind than I am, and the squad hasn't really been tested in this way before. So hopefully just some great performances come out of this, but I'm just not as confident as some of you guys are right now.
All right. Eric, you had some points you wanted to address.
Yeah, I might have forgotten. Was it about? I think it might have been about the loan thing.
Like, don't tell me you've forgotten it and asked me to
Yeah,
remember for
it's
you. That's still a bit of it's difficult.
no, it's we were just talking about the loans, and I mentioned Angerin, and yeah, MDT made some fantastic points. I can't really. There's nothing else to add to that. That was just he pretty much said what is the reality with regards to people. When you get into the squad, it's better to stay and try and fight for your place than to go out on loan, because you may not get your chance to get back into the team. And I thought about Loftus-Cheek when he was talking about
Pardew.
Yes. And even Andrew as well. Andrew might not get back into the squad. And I was thinking about Loftus-Cheek.
To be fair, I think Tino Andrew is probably going to be sold at the end of this loan. I think that's how it's gonna, I think that's what it's looking like.
Yeah. That's probably
unfortunate.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't think it was just. I feel as if it's not because he's not talented enough, but he has to wait a while. The age isn't right. He's not. Someone like Loftus-Cheek is 26 and he's just getting into the team again after getting that bad injury. So he'll have to wait for too long, I think, before he properly breaks in, especially for his position. So yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. Sometimes it's just about having the right, being involved in the right moment. It's not just about your talent. You might be talented and you still won't get involved. So it just is what it is. So with Gilmour, hopefully it's not a complete waste. I think he'll come back at some point. I don't know what will happen for the rest of the season, but I don't think Gilmour is out of the picture for now. I think he'll get back into the squad. Tuchel has a plan for him, and we'll see what happens from there. Loftus-Cheek, he's getting involved now. That's good to see. He's helping with the squad depth. Barkley might get involved against Norwich. No matter what we do, we should beat Norwich. That's reality. But the games after that, we'll have to wait and see. And it's interesting what I think was Big Papa who was mentioning. He made some very good points about Werner and Havertz. Werner and Lukaku. They haven't been scoring. They haven't been the one who has been scoring the goals. The players who have been scoring the goals have been defenders and other players getting involved. I'm not saying that it's sustainable, but if we can keep doing it for a little bit longer, that's what we need. Because especially if Cho doesn't play, in one of those front three positions, who will play there instead? Are we going to see Havertz, Mount, and Ziyech? I doubt it. I don't think that's what's going to happen. So we'll have to wait and see with that. I'm very curious with that. I'm hoping that Callum gets involved in one of those front three positions. I think that's very important. And the way the team plays as a whole, we'll have to wait and see how it works. But yeah, I agree with Mr. Couch. I'm not as confident as some other people, but I think we should do all right.
Havertz, Mountain, Ziyech, though, that's probably going to be the starting three, to be honest. Like, those guys are probably, I mean, you can say what you want about Callum right now. He probably played himself up a step, so he might be ahead of like Ziyech at this point. But we've seen those particular players more times than we've seen Callum Hudson-Odoi as a left attacker.
I love Ziyech to bits, but right now I'm going to start Callum.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm just not sure if
Callum is
Tuchel's
doing it. Yeah, it's an interesting one because he's going to have to use both of them because if Ziyech goes on, gets a knock, only option he then has is Callum. I mean,
Barkley too.
Barkley. Yeah, I guess Barkley. Yeah, he can do it, but Barkley is not really a winger. Barkley he's a 10. He's a 10. He an 8 maybe, but as a winger, it's really Ziyech and Callum that is the only proper wingers. Because even Mount, I mean Mount played as a winger against Malmo and he played well, but I think in the Premier League you do want to have a bit of a bit more pace and a bit more technique about you when you're doing that. I'm going to bring in MDT. Let me hear what you want to say more.
Yeah, Bobby, this is for you. You're gonna like this. You asked me this question. I think is it a couple of streams ago?
Oh yeah.
Watch out. Who Tuchel gonna put? One of the players he might call for the bench tomorrow, or the Southampton Cup games. You will see two surprises most likely. You will see one of them.
Hold on, Mo, you're scaring me now. So you have an insight to who's gonna get picked, and I have you on my panel to pick the team. We can't. You might as well just pick the team for us, mate.
No. The thing is, there's a promising. If everything goes well, you guys will be surprised. There's a name that everybody has written off. Couple of names. They're in the. If they're not injured, no COVID, whatever, you will see them. And if they are given chance, they will take it. Those they're very, very hungry for their chance.
Can I guess one? Can I guess one?
Yeah,
you can guess.
Sterling.
He's on loan.
He's on loan.
The loan is Barkley. Barkley's going to play tomorrow. I said this. There's going to be surprises. Barkley's definitely one of them.
Listen, guys. I missed it. I missed the memo. Where's Sterling gone to?
Blackpool.
Blackpool.
Yeah, Blackpool.
I must have missed that.
Yeah. No. Bobby, Barkley definitely is in the first team, but these ones they're not in. They've not appear on the bench this whole season.
We're talking the kids. One of the kids.
No, these are no kids. They did have a promising career. One of them will appear soon on the bench.
Okay,
and
you got to
give chance.
Does his name start too far down the rabbit hole? You got to give us a name.
Does his name start with an L?
All they're looking at is like if they can pass their COVID test or nothing happen from now till whatever, you'll be surprised. I mean, people are underestimating. Chelsea have team. I forgot about it until I was reminded yesterday after the stream. Said, watch out.
Can I just add one point to all of this? I'm really pleased by some of the things I'm hearing. Like Couch saying, I don't know who's going to score. I don't see it. That's excellent. You're not meant to see it, but you'll see it tomorrow. That is just how Tuchel works.
Yeah.
He's not, he doesn't present himself in predictables. And even when he has his predictable team, like you have your Lukaku up there, I think that has been a bit of a hindrance to him. Tuchel, I think, is happier with the current situation, as his demeanor showed in the press conference, than he has been for a long time, because now he can start to pull out his stumps and use those players. I mean, I don't know who Mo's actually referring to. I thought it's more along the lines of Barkley, who I feel will play tomorrow. But yeah, he's going to put some surprises up there, and they will do well.
You saw his demeanor today. How relaxed he was. He's not worried more. He's not really worried. And those two players, they've been doing very well in training. And he's not worried. Tuchel is not worried about the forward line. I don't think so.
All right. Well, listen, we are going to address that. And guys, if Mo MDT picks someone, don't argue with him too much, because he probably has an insight. All right, we're going with Kepa. Sorry, not Kepa. Mendy in goal, right? We're starting with Mendy. I'm gonna guess. Mendy doesn't need any rest. He's probably good to go. So Mendy in goal. Now in defense, do we rest anyone? Or do we play the strongest defense? What do you guys think?
I think we should.
Strongest for me. We got the game on Tuesday, so he's got to go with the strongest.
Okay. You're right about that. Tuesday is quite.
It's tight, man.
Yeah, it is gonna be tight. Yeah. All right, so we're doing Rudiger, Christensen, and Aspi. Is that what we're doing?
I'm thinking Thiago Silva.
Silva's getting in there
Silva?
Yeah.
because you're not going to play him in Southampton, the cup game, right?
No.
No, he might rest. You're surprised to say he might rest Christensen for Chalobah because Christensen has had quite a few back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're
So
doing
that'll put
Thiago.
Thiago in the middle.
So we're going Thiago Silva. We're going Rudiger. No, Manning Saw could probably play on Tuesday, maybe. So what we doing on what we doing on the right? What we doing on the right? Who putting here?
Aspie.
Yeah.
Aspie. So I'm guessing we're playing Reece James. Starting Reece James.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. You guys concur? Julius? Yeah. Julius, you're quiet, man. What are you saying? Mo? Kasim?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Reece James.
I
don't think I've got a feeling. Aspie's not going to start.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to put Chalobah there.
Yeah,
I can go with that for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. He can't play every single game, right? So
yeah, last game he took him out as well in 80 something. He looks tired.
All right, so we're going Reece James here.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. What you just did. I don't know if Chalobah and James has ever played together before. I don't know if that I might be wrong there.
Aston Villa.
Villa?
Yeah.
Is it the League Cup or?
It was the one that Saul started.
Right. Okay.
Boogeyman,
go too well.
we got you, Boogeyman.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Couch. Is it Couch or Eric that said that? That's true, though. He doesn't like to play Chalobah with an inexperienced like Chalobah. So he did it in the Super Cup and it didn't work. Since then, he didn't do it. Chalobah with any inexperienced person. He will play Chalobah.
My bad.
Chalobah and Aspie? Chalobah and Aspie?
Yeah.
They always play together, yeah.
That was Callum that was out there, right? It was Callum.
It was Callum.
No,
it was
Callum.
Yeah, so James and Chalobah haven't played together there yet.
Yeah, you're right.
So what we saying?
He's probably not going to do it, man. He probably won't do it.
I mean,
I think he will. James and Chalobah, I think he will.
I think they're second
in the Tuesday game too, and like if you're looking at the pecking order, you're going to drop the captain for this game and then play him in the cup, or wait till the next game.
That makes sense. But that's a good consideration. But Aspie looked quite jaded.
Yeah,
he can come off the bench, but I don't see him starting.
I think I don't like. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. I would rather him.
Aspie put in a big shift against Malmo, a massive shift.
Yeah,
he was up and down that pitch.
Yeah, we shouldn't be too worried though. Like this, we should be fine against Norwich. No disrespect to Norwich, but
no, that's disrespect. That's disrespect. Call it what it is.
Norwich hasn't won a game in the league all season, so. All right.
I don't want to sound very cocky. You guys remember West Brom?
Yeah,
all it takes is a red card.
Why are you going there? Man had to go to therapy after that game. All right, so Alonso or Ben Chilwell?
Oh, Chilwell.
Alonso he needs rest. He's not.
Alonso needs rest. He hasn't played for a while.
No, but he's okay. So what was the last match he started? I think
Alonso played the cup game.
Yeah, he's played a lot
Yeah.
recently. He's played
That-
like
that
5-6 games in a row. So
You're talking Chilwell or Alonso?
Chilwell.
No,
Chilwell. Alonso played the
Chilwell.
cup game.
yeah, I think Alonso is he's out of form right now. He isn't playing so well.
I think
No,
Chilwell is just.
Chilwell's been
So-
3-3, right, or something like that. So
Yeah, he's in good form, innit?
yeah, he's got to play.
All right, who's in the centre of the park?
Ooh.
I
I
would
will
go
leave
with the
that for
same
you
one.
guys to decide.
I would just choose the same one from the previous match, personally.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
One second, Cassie. Big
Okay.
Papa, you can talk, mate. You don't have to wait for me. It's an open discussion now. So just fire it out, man. If you want to say something, just click on talk and just talk, man. You're good.
I was going to say, I think Eric Broom's right. I think he's going to play the same as the Champions League game.
So that was Conte and Jorginho, was it?
Yeah.
The only thing he might do is maybe switch Kante for Ruben.
But concern here. Kovačić is being dropped. Why?
It's not being dropped. I would
he's-
rather say
yeah.
he's being rested.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Is that how? Yeah.
Kova's
Yeah,
played a lot.
I agree with Poppy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what about because Kova didn't play the last game, isn't it? I think he
No,
will
he
go
didn't.
for Ruben and Kova. He will play for Ruben and Kova.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
do that as well.
That worked really well. That worked really well in the last game. Last game we played it. Yeah.
Was it Brentford?
Brentford. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Works,
yeah,
and it works
it's
with
sort of
Southampton
works.
as well.
Yeah.
Does anyone see a potential for 3 in the middle again? Just because
Ooh.
the attacking 3, we don't really have a lot of options there, right?
Good point. That's a great point. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. Tuchel could easily do that. He could just go Havertz Mount.
So we don't risk another injury, because if we get another injury, we're done. That's a good point. That is a good
3-5-2. Havertz and Mount.
No,
Interesting.
Mount is when Mount play. Technically, we play with sometimes when we don't have the ball, that's the 3. When we have the ball, is the 2. Mount is the 3. So when Mount play, we don't need to play with the 3.
When Mount plays, we don't need to play. But I'm just like in terms of numbers, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. If Mount is playing,
I'm just thinking,
if Mount is playing, he's technically like a 3 because of when we don't have the ball, he comes back in the midfield. When we have the ball, he moves out. So Mount,
Right.
that's why when Mount is playing, we play with the 3.
If you play 3-5-2 with Mount, where would you play him?
Haven't we done that? Have you done that once or twice?
Yeah, we did that even last game, isn't it?
3-5-2 against. No, that was Brentford. Did Mount play against Brentford?
No, I'm talking about the Zenit because we played 3-4-2, 3-4-3. But Mount was the one dropping in the middle as well as going up because he has the engine to do that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but would he be used that way now though? Like we played 3 in the middle. I'm saying the reason why I'm saying 3 in the middle is because I think we have the most healthy bodies in central midfield, and they're probably the better form. Like Jorginho's in form, Ruben's in form, Conte is Conte.
Couch. So Couch. Are you saying 3 flat or 3 in a triangle?
I don't know. I just think we're like. Yeah, that's a tough call. I don't know exactly. I would probably, if I was going to do it with 3 in the middle, I would play Jorginho at the base and then play with like Kova and
2 8s.
Ruben and Conte. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on seeing Kante, Jorginho, and Kovačić again. Like I'm done with that midfield 3.
No, but I wouldn't mind seeing Jorginho with Conte and Ruben.
Yeah.
Remember, Couch, you mentioned about us needing body in the box. So if we play with 2 up front, that means we lack more body in the box.
Yeah, but those guys, who would you play there though? That's going to give us
guys.
box
Check your mics, please. Someone is pouring.
I think it's Papa. Is it Papa?
Nah, it's not Papa. I'm not seeing any. Well, actually, it might be. Yeah, it was. It was Papa. Go on, carry on. Sorry.
Sorry, MDT. Who would you play there then that would give us that presence?
To be honest with you, I think if we play Callum at the left, what's going to happen is when the wing backs go inwards. So the thing is, we're going to have numbers with the wing back at the edge of the whatever. That's why you see Tuchel saying that Havertz is a 9. He doesn't want him out of the box anymore. I think he wants to change the system where like nobody's in the box all the time. Nobody's in the box. That's why we don't cross. The reason why we don't cross, even last season, is because there was nobody in the box apart from Giroud and Tammy. That when we play with Havertz as a 9, he doesn't go in the box more often. So I believe that with the wing backs going in and Callum hogging one and Mount hogging the other, Kai will be in the middle. So that's the numbers. But if we play with three flat midfielders, we're not going to have the numbers because Norwich are going to defend with 5. So we always need like 4 minimum in the box.
I hear you on that for sure. And like we have seen like the last couple of games that the wing backs have been coming inside, and the 10s have been the guys that have been overlapping and hugging the line. So that might be something that he was actually trying to audition like as a new wrinkle to our attack. So yeah, I can go with that for sure. Like it could just be the 3-4-3 with the wing backs playing more inverted. So yeah, it's just like Bobby said. Like this Tuchel guy just keeps people guessing, man. It's very hard to predict what he's going to do.
All right, so who we let's do it this way. I want everyone to pick 2 midfielders. Then we'll pick 3 attackers. So we'll start with Big Papa. Give me your 2 central midfielders, please, for this game. Big Papa, can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, Kova and Kante.
Kova and Kante. Cheers.
Yeah.
Eric.
Jorginho and Kante.
Jorginho and Kante. All right. Bobby.
Georgie and Kante.
Georgie and Kante. All right. Julius is away. Kasim.
Yeah, Kante. Can I just say something? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna play 5-2-3-1. The 2 in the midfielder is gonna be Kante and Loftus-Cheek, and he's gonna put Hazard a 9, and the 3 behind him is gonna be Mount, Shaw, and Ross Barkley.
All right.
That's
What shape is that? I'm sorry.
5-2-3.
5-2-3. So it's gonna be Kante and Loftus-Cheek, and it's gonna be Havertz as a 9, and Mount and Callum Hudson-Odoi.
So 3-4-3, really, right?
He said 3-4-3. Yeah, it's yeah.
He just wants to be complicated, Kasim, man. We've got headaches already, man. We've got headaches, shoulder injuries.
I'm half asleep, mate. I'm half asleep.
All right, so just remind me, who's your 2 midfielders?
I think he's gonna have to go attacking because the opposition is gonna go Loftus-Cheek and Kante. I think
Loftus-Cheek and Kante. All right, so Kante is definitely starting. Now let's just see who's gonna be next to him. Mo, let me hear it.
Ruben and Cover.
All right. Go on. Let me hear it, Couch. You
I'm
can
going to
jump
go
up on
with Kasim. I'm going to say Ruben and Kante.
Ruben and Kante. Well, we've got is it 3 for Ruben, and everybody else said Kante. Just remind me, Bobby, who did he have with Kante? Jorginho, was it? Bobby?
Yeah, I had Georgie with Kante because I had in my mind I was wanting to put Ruben there a little bit further forward, either in 8 or 10 position, because of our striking situation.
All right. It's gonna be a weird. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Kante, and I'm gonna go here, Georgie. And I'm gonna leave Loftus-Cheek just here for now. All right. Who we playing up front? I'm gonna start with Couch.
Well, it's Havertz up top for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a given. Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna go Havertz, Mount, and Ziyech, but I can definitely see Callum. So maybe I'm gonna go with Callum because I think that he deserves the opportunity.
There's a base as well. There's a base.
That's a good call.
Callum, yeah.
Okay.
I think Callum gonna be left. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got Mount on the other wing, on the other 10 position.
Yeah. I'll keep this one empty for now. I'll keep it on. Fireworks, anyone? I thought they were banned this year.
Oh, sorry, it's my background. I don't know what these kids are doing outside.
Sweet. Mo, tell me who you have up front.
I think Kai, Callum, and Mount.
Okay. Kasim?
Yeah, it's just same. Yeah, I said it, but I think I disagree with Jorginho there. You don't need 2 6s there because Norwich.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to say that.
Yeah,
I think that's why I was saying it. Just do it. I think Jorginho out.
Kasim, I think it'll be Kante and Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kante, Loftus-Cheek. I think. But let's get the attack done, and then what we'll do is we'll come back at the team.
Okay. Sorry.
Look at it, and maybe tweak it a little bit. I don't think Julius is back yet. Julius, are you back? Julius. No, he's not back. Bobby, you're 3 up front, mate.
I think Kasim has a very strong point, about
I know, I'm always happy.
Yeah, it's a good point. But up front,
only kidding, guys.
Up front, Havertz for sure. Cho and Mount. Cho is a bit flaky for me, but in a game like this, I can see him starting him at least.
Yeah, because I think because the base, Bobby.
You say because of pace?
No, because he's fast, he's quick. We need him there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Benner will play that there, I think, but because he's injured, maybe Callum will play there.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
He'll swap Mount for perhaps Barkley or something.
Say that again, Bobby.
Later on in the game.
Later on,
Barkley.
Yeah. You know what? I think Barkley. This is the kind of game that he could shine. He could shine in this game.
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of game that Ziyech was struggling, but Barkley would persevere in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a thought. Eric Blue, who would you have up front?
Yeah, I think I would have that exact lineup up front.
Okay.
I like the different dynamic that someone like Cho would bring because he's a different he can dribble, he can really take on. I know he hasn't been doing it recently, but he has the ability to take people on and really do a lot of things with his movement and with his dribbling. So that is something that we have missed for a long time in those positions because Havertz and Mount, they don't really play like that. They can do it, but they're not really that kind of player. So hopefully, I'm hoping, man, please, Tuchel, just play Cho on the left. And let's see what happens.
Great.
Yeah.
Can I just say something more quickly? I think, like you said rightly so in the beginning of the show, Mo, it could be his chance. So I think he's going to start Callum tomorrow because there could be a chance. You got Werner and Lukaku injured. it could be a chance to shine. And obviously, he is got that attribute with the speed and taking the player on. I think he's going to start tomorrow for me.
Callum also has
Callum.
good chemistry with Havertz, by the way. Callum and Havertz have good chemistry. I think the pace of Callum suits Havertz type of play. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Eric, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, this is a very good team right here. I think we can say that most of the time when because we have a good squad. But this is truly what I believe we will see. Hopefully, we get it right 100%. But we should win the match. Hopefully, we score a few goals, and then we can have some people taking off early. That's what we want.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't need certain players playing 90 minutes. So, yeah. Jorginho, you could have said Jorginho out. It makes complete sense. But you could have also said Jorginho didn't need to play against Malmo. But obviously he played, and he got 2 penalties. He got 2 penalties. Yeah, look, Tuchel will do what he needs to do. He'll use the squad. Jorginho could do with the extra rest. That makes a lot of sense. But whatever team we put out there, we really should. It doesn't matter what team, really. We should win. We should win no matter what. We need to keep winning. We've been winning the games we should win this season. And I don't want to be too. I'm very calm about everything. I think the only game I was very excited about was the first match of the season against Crystal Palace, because I'm very aware of the standards that we need to, we have a long way to go, and there's a lot of games, but there's a very high bar that we have to try and reach to win the title potentially. So can't get too excited about the really good results that we've been getting, but we have to keep going. Beat Norwich, go on a run. We should win like 5-6 games in a row. We just have we should. There's no excuse. So let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, great.
Would anyone be surprised if we played a 3 in the middle? Because we did do that with Malmo before we had to get the changes, right?
I would not be surprised. I actually think, but you see where it is, Couch. For me, he was trying that formation for Werner and Lukaku.
Right.
Because he wanted to get these guys to have better chemistry together, and once they started to get injured, Lukaku then Werner. Right now, I don't think we need to play that kind of formation.
No, and it probably work better. Like with Mount and Havertz, they've already had that understanding of playing in a 3-4-3 together, anyways, right? So probably makes more sense to have that sort of partnership occur.
And I think this way it's more fluid. And I'm actually, I'm not going to say I'm hoping, but I'll be very interested to see whether or not we get that chance creation element that we used to get before Lukaku joined the team. Do you guys remember when we used to create 20 chances and score 0? But, we used to create them. So I want to see if that happens tomorrow. Let me bring in Big Papa. Big Papa, what's your thoughts on the strikers? Big Papa, can you hear us? Big Papa? No.
Yeah, hello.
What's your thoughts on the attackers? Who would you go with up front?
Yeah, I think I'm happy with the attackers.
All right, so that's who you'd go with, yeah?
Yeah, the same, yeah.
All right. Now, this team. Now, remember, guys, this is not your choice. This is not my choice. This is Tuchel's choice. Do you guys think this is the team he would play? And if he's going to make any changes to that lineup, who would he change?
He'll take Callum off and put Barkley or someone.
No. Sorry, not changes in half-time or whatnot. I'm saying starting lineup.
Yeah. He'll start Barkley instead of
Barkley instead of Callum. Who agrees with that? Who thinks that might be the case? I
wouldn't be surprised.
I think if he does that, Eric, he's doing something very, very bad, man. I'll tell you why. Because right now you got Callum who is eager and edging to play. You got Ziyech, who wants to get back on that pitch as soon as possible. And then you got Barkley, who barely got a squad number, but he hanged about and he's in the team. Getting picked ahead of a fit Callum and a fit Ziyech is a little bit problematic for morale purposes, if I can put it that way. But Tuchel does what Tuchel does, so you never know. All right, guys. So this is as close as we're gonna get to the team. Hopefully, we're accurate. I have a feeling. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is gonna feature in the team somewhere, possibly in the middle of the park, possibly. But we'll have to wait and see. Listen, guys. In respect to the match, do you guys think that the fact that we have so many matches in such a close amount of time, with us missing these two attackers, we're gonna see Tuchel switch it up a little bit? I mean, this is the team we've picked, but could he do something different, like play a different formation, a more aggressive system that he will then change? Because what you can do is you can attack in the first half, try to get a good, a couple of goals lead, and then just, bring in some youngsters onto the pitch and give them some time. How is he going to address this? I want to hear tactics. We've done the formation, we've done the press conference. I want to hear match tactics, game tactics tomorrow. I'm going to start with Bobby. I want to hear what Bobby has to say in regards to this. I want to start with Bobby. Bobby, tell me what tactics, what changes in system that we could see Tuchel do tomorrow, if any.
Because we're dipping into the squad, he may find it a little bit difficult to do what he normally does, unless there are some changes to the starting lineup that we've picked in anticipation of him. I've watched Tuchel now since he's been at Chelsea, and I can say that a tactic of Tuchel never wins a game and then brings on the youngsters as such, unless we're really in control, like we were against Malmo, that sort of thing towards the end. What he tends to do is that he brings his somewhat weaker team and then brings the real cannons towards the end of the game, where the opposition are tired and they just don't have the legs for it. He did that with Villa, and he did that with Tottenham, and he's been doing it at various times last season. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what he's going to do. You could be right. He might start to bring on a few younger or less experienced players if we do what we hope we do and take charge of the game early. But because we're already dipping into the squad, I don't see that. I think his eye will be more to look to see who he can rest. And if we have a good game early on, you might see rotation in the midfield. For example, if Ruben and Kante starts, you'll definitely see someone come on for Kante. That sort of thing. I think he will have an eye on Mount. And if we start well, that's when you might see a change for Mount with, I believe, Barkley. Because what he said about Ziyech was significant. Ziyech isn't quite fit, is he? There was the whole headache situation, and now there's the shoulder situation, which is really down to him. Now, if he feels his shoulder is okay and he's not scared of hurting it when he's on the field, or he feels comfortable twisting and turning, then you might see Ziyech. But if there's any doubt as to the full fitness and ability for him to trust his own shoulder, you won't see Ziyech, you'll see Barkley. So those are the sort of things I think he will do tomorrow.
Good points. You know what? I'm going to use what you said, and I'm going to do a little bit of a diversion onto another topic. because you started me thinking about a different way to look at this, and this is what I want to address. Kai Havertz is our striker for the foreseeable future until the international break. Julius, you're good?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So from now until possibly the international break, we have Kai Havertz as our striker. Hakim Ziyech, his injury, as we knew it, headache. Today, he's talking about the shoulder. Now, is it because there was some negative comments being made by people on social media and whatnot, talking about, a headache is not really an excuse for you not to be playing. So Tuchel wanted to talk a little bit more about his previous injury, the shoulder. He's still recovering. It's causing him pain. He's got a headache. The issue is this. I want you guys to tell me, Havertz as our striker, Hakim Ziyech potentially being given a chance to come back into the team because of the injuries to Lukaku and Werner. Are we gonna see these players change yet? Is Havertz gonna start banging them goals in? Is Ziyech gonna get his form back? What is your prediction for these two particular players for the next couple of games? And I'm gonna let Julius jump in with this because. And by the way, Julius, just before you give me your opinion, this is the lineup that we came up with, because I know you weren't here. So you got Mendy in goal, Chalobah, Silva, and Rudiger in defence. James, Chilwell on the wings. Jorginho, possibly Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kante in the midfield. Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek and Kante in midfield. Callum, maybe Barkley, with Havertz and Mount in attack. So that's what we predicted as our lineup. But going back to what we were saying in regards to Havertz and Ziyech, give me your thoughts on that particular angle. And then I'll go to Couch after that.
Yes. I like Ziyech. I think he's a victim of a system we use. We are a very defensive-minded team, and nothing wrong against that. I absolutely love it, and it works. We won because we are very defensive and we are very disciplined. But I think when we play against teams like Norwich, we're gonna be more on the offensive side, and I think that will unlock a lot of Ziyech's strong attributes. And honestly, everyone knows here, whether you like Ziyech or no, that he's got an eye for a pass. And when we play teams like Norwich, like Newcastle, that will probably park the bus, we need someone like Ziyech, because he's the only one in this team, in my opinion, that could pull out on one of those, those crazy key passes that would put you through or unlock the defense. And even his crosses, I think he's going to be important for those kind of games. And I don't believe he was given enough chance.
Does Hakim Ziyech have an attitude problem, in your opinion?
No. I heard you guys were saying about headache not being an or not being an eligible excuse for him not to play.
I said it.
Oh, I disagree, because he's a human being. If you have a really strong headache, can you go play football? Put yourself in his shoes. You won't be able to play properly. So, yes, it's so easy for us to just say, oh, he should play. That's not an excuse. But if you've got a migraine or something, who knows what he's feeling? It doesn't make sense if he's not feeling comfortable. If his body is telling him, you're not right. It doesn't make sense for him to play. But my concern here is not that. It's his physical injuries that are constant. Is this a problem with the training? Maybe the way Tuchel sets up the training is too intense, and that's not Tuchel's fault. Maybe Ziyech's body is just so sensitive, he gets injured real quick. Or is the Premier League too much for him in terms of physicality? I don't know. But in terms of ability, I have no doubt the guy is probably the most creative player on our team right now. When we bought him, I'm going to be honest, I said he's going to be player of the year that season we bought him in. I was surprised he didn't meet the expectations, but I truly believe he's a victim of the system we play, and I think he's got a lot to offer still to the team if used properly. Maybe I'm biased, but that's how I think.
No, I you know what, Julius, sometimes when you want to address a point, you have to own the other opinion. You have to own the other opinion in order for you to extract the right response. I have always been a fan of Hakim Ziyech, and until this day, I look at his story. I mean, Eric Blue was talking about the story of Mendy. Tyrone was talking about the story of Mendy. If we look at the story of Ziyech and what he went through to get to where he is today, it's a very similar story, and in certain aspects, it's an even more potent and powerful story because of the friends that he lost, the family members that went astray, and the fact that he, what's the word here? He put his hand in his mother's hand, and he allowed her to drag him away from the negative lifestyle that he was going towards, and become a professional football player and to be a successful football player. So he's been through a lot, and that is why when we're talking about headaches, when we're talking about minor injuries, it kind of baffles me, because I know this guy is stronger than that. He's better than that. So when I see that, that's why I question it. That's why I bring it up, and I shine a light on it, because if you don't shine a light on it, you're never going to get the exact or the correct answer. It's not going to be investigated enough. It's not going to be talked about. So I think we need to do that. Is Hakim Ziyech underperforming recently? Yes, he is.
He is.
Did Hakim Ziyech have a very good start to the season, pre-season? He did. And Tuchel even addressed that in his press conference today by saying that that injury has had a toll on him. Bobby made some good points. Redneck made some good points. MDT made some fantastic points in regards to the injury and how it can affect a player, and how the impact is. So sometimes, for the layman like me who doesn't know much about biology and
the medical stuff,
the medical stuff. When Redneck said the shoulder injury affects the way your hips rotate and the way that you move, I never actually understood that. But a person of that industry is able to explain that to us. And but then wouldn't that also affect his center of gravity? Wouldn't that affect his ability to dribble? Okay, so there's a lot of aspects. I mean, we're talking about a shoulder injury. How does that affect that? But it does. But people don't see that. So I agree. I agree that there is a lot that can be seen from Ziyech, hopefully, for his sake and for the sake of the club, because we invested in him. Hakim Ziyech successful is Chelsea successful. Okay, so we don't want to see him fail. But I also want you to address another point, Julius, in regards to Havertz being our only realistic striker left in the team. Are you concerned? Are we light up front? Well, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm actually not too concerned, because look how we did last year without having a proper striker or a proper goal scorer, and we still managed. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see how this is gonna play out, because we were talking about the lack of creativity when Lukaku is playing. Now it's gonna be very interesting to see how much chances we're gonna create without Lukaku up front. And if that's the case, then there's gonna be questions raised. Whether is it on maybe Thomas Tuchel's tactics or Romelu Lukaku himself. That's gonna, I think, unlock a lot of questions in the next few weeks to see how this is gonna pan out. But to go back real quick on the Ziyech situation, Mo, the reason why I believe Ziyech is not used properly is because I didn't watch Ajax much, but I've seen enough in Champions League and some YouTube videos. So the guy used to take a lot more risks when he played with Ajax, for example, with shots, with passes, with crosses. When I look at him when he plays for us, I don't see him trying to do what he used to do for Ajax. And it's not about the Premier League. He when he had spaces, he never took those chances. Look how many times he scored crazy goals with Ajax from long range shots. Every time he plays with us, he takes maybe one shot the whole game, or sometimes never take a single shot. I just feel it's the individual instructions that is giving to him, maybe holding him back from expressing himself. It could be. It's all theories. But in my opinion, I do not see Ziyech playing the way he used to play. And it looks to me that it's individual instructions. He doesn't have much freedom. There is specific tasks that Tuchel gives him. Maybe Tuchel is sometimes happy with what he does. Small nuances here and there that the average fan would not notice, the manager would notice. But in my opinion, Ziyech is not being given freedom to express himself and to basically play his actual game.
You know, I agree. I'm sorry, Julius, but someone sent me a link in the private chat, and it is a really, really good link. So big up to you. Couch, let me hear your thoughts on the Ziyech and the Havertz story. Julius, I recommend you go check out that link. It's gonna give you some good insight into football statistics.
Perfect.
Give it a look. Go on, Cash. Let me hear you. You had your finger up, so let me hear your thoughts.
Did I? I don't know if I did, but I don't mind taking my time. You were doing
that. So if you don't, I can move on to someone else.
I have some things to contribute. I believe it's all good.
Go ahead.
But as far as Ziyech goes, I think that what Julius is saying does have some merit, but I think we've seen a shape change. That's something that we can't ignore. There's been a shape change at Chelsea. He's an out-and-out winger. You know, we don't play with wingers anymore. So he's obviously going to be affected by that. That's one thing. His strength is delivery from out wide. He's not playing out wide as much anymore. He's actually, when he does play, he's actually more inside. And when you're playing inside, you have to be more technical. You have to be more of a dribbler. You have to be quicker on the ball. And that's not his game. So I think that's where the problems lie for him.
Julius, sorry, Couch, I want to ask you a question. You have made a good point in regards to the system that we're playing. It doesn't suit him. It looks like Tuchel isn't keen on changing the system anytime soon.
No, it's working. Okay, why would he?
It's working, and he's getting the results that he wants using that system. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I disagree that the system is working.
We're first place.
Yeah. Would you?
But the statistics don't bear that.
Big Papa, give me a second, Big Papa.
I want to come on to that. That's a good point, Big Papa. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Would you sell him? Because if you're not able to utilize him in the best way, then his value is going to diminish because he's not playing. He's not contributing. You invested a ton of money in him. Would you be looking to sell him? Should Chelsea be looking to sell Hakim Ziyech? In your opinion?
I mean, yes and no. I think if Tuchel is committed to this system and it's clear that Ziyech can't play it, then there's no point in having him in the squad. Like if he's just going to sit on the sidelines and play the odd cup game, it doesn't make any sense to me. But if you're looking to be a little bit more, fluid with your tactics, allow for some of these attackers that play more as wingers to play their more traditional roles, maybe find another system for them that would work, then Ziyech is still a fine player for me. Like as much as, he hasn't really been performing up to his standards. You can say the same thing for Pulisic when he's in the lineup as well. He hasn't really been performing either. Callum Hudson-Odoi, another guy that hasn't been performing. I think it's all down to system. The system does not suit out-and-out wingers, and they are struggling to find their foot within the game. But having said that, I do think that the squad as is right now has a lot of variation, which I think is good.
Sure. I want to remind you of something. I mean, I know it was a one-off, but it was a one-off that we haven't done for a while, and it was the Brentford game when we had Timo Werner and we had Callum on either side of Lukaku. We saw the way that they were progressing and attacking. It was quite interesting, quite exciting. It was good. It was good to watch. It was a good football match to watch. With the pace that they brought onto the pitch.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't think the system isn't suited to wingers. I think that the system can be adapted for wingers, but is Ziyech, because Ziyech doesn't bring you what Timo Werner and Callum do.
No, definitely pace. Not. Pace and technique too. Like, he's not very technical, right? Like, he's kind of a guy that likes to hit the dead balls. He's the kind of the guy that doesn't really dribble past people. He likes to use the wide areas combined out there.
We haven't seen him dribble past people in the Premier League. I agree with you.
Not once.
But in when he was in Ajax, he seemed to have more time on the ball, and he did dribble a lot more for Ajax. So yeah, no, I mean, Hakim Ziyech hasn't brought the game that we thought he was going to bring to Chelsea.
The system's changed. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you use him as a winger, he'd probably have more value to the squad. But I did want to touch on what Big Papa said. He's saying that, like, we're first place and we're not winning, and there are some like underlying stats that kind of do show what he's saying is correct, and that's kind of why I put that link in the chat there. Like, if you look at expected goals and expected goals against, Chelsea, the stats bear out that we're not really playing that well. We're not creating a lot of opportunities. I think we ranked 7th in expected goals. And then expected goals against, I think we're like 9th. So that's not a very good stat to see. When you're thinking about, teams are getting opportunities, they're not burying them when they're given those opportunities, and vice versa. We're not creating enough to really impact the match. So I kind of agree with that, but I would say that in the end, we haven't really learned how to play with Lukaku, and we're still winning games. There's still an adjustment to be made there. So when we the fact that we're winning games and not playing well, and we're still trying to incorporate Lukaku into this system is a good sign. It's a good sign. The fact that we played so many tough teams, we played Tottenham, we played Arsenal, we played Man City, we played Liverpool. Aston Villa is not going to be an easy team. Brentford's proven not to be difficult, and still. Yeah, the Spurs as well. Like, we're still sitting at top of the table. That can't be frowned upon. A lot of these teams don't make it easy to play against them. So when we're saying that we're not playing well, we have to give some credit to the opponent as well. These opponents make it hard for us to play well, and the fact that we're getting results and we're winning is a plus. So to me, there's no reason to change the system based on the fact that guys like Ziyech aren't really fitting it, and Pulisic isn't really fitting, because we're winning games and we're still trying to evolve our game to basically acclimatize Lukaku to our current system, right? So lots to work on there. As far as the game tomorrow goes, and I know that we're talking about tactics, and I think that the one thing that I'm going to say this right now, I think our wingbacks are going to be crucial in this game. Crucial. And not for the reasons that we think. I'm not thinking for the width. That little tweak that we've been seeing the last couple of games, where we see the Chilwell and Azpilicueta come inside, I think that's going to be a telling part of this game for box presence and actual goal scoring opportunities. I think those guys, Reece James, if he does get the start, and Chilwell, their ability to strike the ball inside the 18 is going to be a telling sign for me. I think that's going to be the key to the match, because I really, when we're talking about box presence and getting guys inside the box, I think that those two can provide it. And I also think that their ability to really strike the ball clean put it on target. All of that stuff's going to be on display. So that's what I think. And I think that if we are going to use that tactic, Callum Hudson-Odoi out wide makes sense on the left, and Mason Mount just to help stitch things together on the right makes sense as well. So that's what I would go with. There's an outside chance that Ziyech could get in for the same reasons, just because we won't necessarily need him to be inside at that number 10-ish position. We can use his ball delivery on the right flank and hope that he can just find somebody. I think that could be something that we use as well. But time will only tell. You can't really predict what Tuchel's going to do.
I want to bring in Big Papa because I think he wants to comment on what you said there, Coach. Big Papa.
Yeah. Thank you, Mo. Yeah. I just want to make a comment about the Malmo game. I really liked that game because I think I've spoken in the past about how our play has been a bit flat. Right? The reason why I liked the game was a number of overloads we were creating by having wing backs making those underlapping runs. So when they make the underlapping runs, it was helping to disorganize the opposition's defense, and then also enabling us to get more touches in the box. So even though we are not very clinical in what we did with the ball, we were creating a lot of high volume chances, right? Forcing the opposition into making mistakes by creating panic by having a lot of touches in the box. And that's not what we've seen. We've not been able to do in our previous games. Because usually we don't, one of the things we don't do is move the ball quickly. So by the time we get the ball into the opposition's quadrant, they are already set up to defend properly. And if you don't have players, and we are short in midfield, we don't have any midfielders making runs beyond the striker. So because we only have two midfielders, they have to sit back and shield. We don't have any third man runs. And it makes it difficult to create chances when the block is low and there's nobody running from the midfield to help to disrupt. And so those underlapping runs by the wing backs is helping us to create chances. And for those things, we don't need to have very clinical players, because what happens is a defender might be forced to make a last-ditch tackle, and the ball gets spilled into an area where a striker or even a player who is not necessarily a striker has the opportunity to score a goal. So I think that is going to help to improve our fortunes when we have just more people getting into the box and helping to disrupt the defenses of teams that, well and truly we should be beaten. So a team like Norwich, we should not be afraid to sort of take those risks in the game, right? And so we don't really need our strikers to be there. We just need those volumes of chances to be created. We can get a penalty, we can get free kicks, we can create opportunities to force the opposition to make mistakes and result in a goal. So hopefully that's what's going to happen on the weekend tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. I'm interested in this comment, but I'm not sure who wants to address it. I'll have it open to you lot. Because he's comparing him to Ronaldinho, and then he says he's not that talented and 28. So either he is, and then you're comparing him with Ronaldinho, or he's not. So Abdul B, I'm a little bit skeptical on what you're saying there.
Yeah, what's addressing? What you're saying is that Ronaldinho wasn't very good in his first year at Barca.
Yeah, and he's comparing him to Ziyech, but then Ziyech is not that talented. Ronaldinho is talented. Was one of the best, one of the greatest, dribblers and.
Yeah,
I'm
not completely different players to me.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But he said about like mistakes. I'm assuming he's talking about losing the ball or something like that. I'm not sure what he means when he says mistakes, but basically he's saying Ziyech is being played out of. We've already addressed, and I agree as well. Ziyech, he's not an adaptable player. He can't seem to adapt to a new system with Chelsea, so it's just not working out for him.
Yeah. I am not at the game tomorrow, unfortunately. I think Jim might be. Jim might be at the game tomorrow. Listen, people. Let's talk about Havertz, our only striker, lads. We only have Havertz. But, I mean, unless I'm mistaken, do we have anybody else who can come in and do a job as a striker if Havertz was to get injured tomorrow? Are we going to go back to Barcelona style of play?
Why did you do that?
No,
Why did you make you said it now? Why did you say that? We shouldn't even be thinking about Havertz.
I'm scared.
If Havertz gets injured, then it's
I'm scared.
It's over, man.
I'm just saying it. I'm scared. If Havertz gets injured,
it's over. It's over.
We don't. This question was asked. This question was asked to Tuchel in the press conference. They said to him, in hindsight, should you have kept Batshuayi? Should you have kept Giroud? Should you have kept X, Y, and Z? And he responded, if I keep a 40-man squad and they don't play, then are they going to be able to take part in this game? If they haven't had any game time, if they haven't had any of this, that, or the other. So really, it's tough. It's tough. But my concern is, and I wouldn't be too bothered if we were only looking to finish top 4, because we'll do it. No worries. We've done it. We've had a lot of games where we didn't have the out and out striker. We had kind of Havertz, but this season we want to win the Premier League title, and because I have set myself that target, that bar so high, what options do we have up front? Because Kai Havertz can't play every single game until these guys come back. Okay, he doesn't have to get injured. God forbid. I don't want to see him injured, but I'm saying he can't play. Because we're playing 3 games a week in theory. So
that's
explain that to me, lads.
Is that 2? How long are they out for? 2 months, maybe? Sorry, 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Possibly 3. If we're lucky,
three games a week.
They'll be like, no, but see, that's the thing. We have the international break coming up, so we've got 3 weeks, or just under 3 weeks. Then the international break comes in, and then hopefully they'll be back by then. So we have. Hold on, let me just have a look. I think we've got 5 fixtures. Let me just have a look. Hold on.
I think the next game after,
we got Norwich tomorrow, Southampton on Tuesday, all right, and then you got Newcastle on Saturday, Malmo the following Tuesday, so that's already Saturday, Tuesday. Then you got Burnley, and then we have the break. Then we get the break. So
it's not.
That's not 5 games. 5 games.
It's like 4 every 4 days. Not. I think he could do it. I really do. I think he can do it. We don't have too many options. We don't have too many alternatives. Well, I can't think of anybody else, but I think he can do it. Every 4 days, I think it's possible.
All right. What's the rest of the panel think?
I play Alonso in the front.
I was thinking about that. I was.
Honest, I've been serious.
Yeah.
I've been serious. Alonso, when he was young, he was originally striker. And you always see him. He's always in the box. He's got a header. He's got a strike on him. I play Alonso in the front. He's a big lad. You know what I mean? I know he hasn't got the base. So does Havertz. Havertz hasn't got the base. But he's technically good.
Well,
I don't think Tuchel wouldn't do it, man. He wouldn't do that.
Nor should he.
He wouldn't do that, but I think Alonso a big good striker. He can strike the ball.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Alonso play as a winger, but as a striker, I don't know. I mean, why not play Loftus-Cheek as a striker?
Oh no!
It's not what?
He's not fast.
He's not fast, but Alonso is.
Didn't Conte try to? Didn't Conte try to play Loftus-Cheek as a striker once? Yeah, I don't think
It was like it wasn't a striker. It was basically a shadow striker. He was trying to build him as the guy that plays off of Conte, but we haven't seen him as a number 9 yet. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think if you want to play a striker, I mean, you can ask a player to go into an attacking role. For example, we saw last season Emerson Palmieri being asked to play as a right winger for half a game, and he did it. He did all right. So you can ask a player to fill in a specific role during a game because you have an injury, you have somebody sent off, but to play a left wing back as a striker, for me, a club like Chelsea doing that, it just shows that the club is lacking in squad, in depth, in a whole bunch of things. Because I mean, you can get a 10 to play a 9. You can get an 8 to play a 9. You know, you can do it in theory. Like Loftus-Cheek, you can maybe, somebody was saying in the chat, Mason Mount as a false 9. You can do that, but Alonso, no, I'm sorry, Kasim, I just can't see it.
Mason Mount has.
Listen, I'm telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I think, man. Not what Tuchel gonna do. I'm telling you what I think.
That would be funny to Mason Mount as a false 9. That would be very interesting to see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, man.
He's played there before. Last season he played there.
He did?
Yeah, I think it was in a cup game. It was either can't remember what the cup game was, but I'm almost certain he played there.
Is that under Lampard or under Tuchel?
It was under Tuchel, I believe. Wait, let me think about that. Yeah, it was under Tuchel.
False 9.
Yeah, he played false 9.
In the cup match. Okay, in the cup.
I'll look it up. Because I do remember it specifically where he was actually asked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, there's a new role for him, and we're gonna try him there." But let me look it up. I'll see if I can find the exact time.
If we go back, I think a month ago, I called for that lad, Fulham lad, the striker. I forgot his name.
Is
the Serbian one?
Oh yeah, Mitrovic.
Say it again.
Mitrovic.
Yeah, Mitrovic. Yeah, as a number 2.
Yeah.
And I think some people just not at me. I think he's a goal machine as well.
I would take Mitrovic right now. Yeah, I would.
I will bring no. Mitrovic, come on. I will take an academy player. Before, how many goals did he score in the Premier League? Have you seen his Premier League record at Newcastle, at Fulham? He's terrible at Premier League. He's one of those players that are good at championship level, but when they come up, they struggle. We've seen them before, loads of them. It's like the one at Burnley. Is it Vidra? Matthew Vidra. Very good at League 1, League 2 level. Premier League season, they will score maximum. Out of 38 games they play, they will score maximum 4 or 5 goals. And he's on big wages as well for a player.
So Mo, you don't think Mitrovic is a good striker?
No. Look at him in the Premier League.
I do love him. That's why I recommended him.
Yeah, but how many? Look at him. He cannot even bully. Yeah.
Mo, answer me this. Yeah. I don't want to get into a discussion about a player that plays for another club who will never play for Chelsea. Let's talk about potential players who can play for Chelsea. Do you think Chelsea should get a striker in the January window? And when I say get a striker, I'm not talking about get someone who's going to come in to replace Lukaku. I'm saying a backup for a situation like this, or should we just wait and hope that Armando Borja comes back at the end of his loan and he can fill in that role? Where do you stand on this situation? Because right now, Timo Werner and Lukaku having an injury at this point in the season, don't be surprised if in a month or 2 down the line they'll have another one. All right, because there is that potential, and we want to win. See, because we have high hopes and high ambitions this season, should we get a striker or not? I don't know. I'm just thinking that. I'm thinking that loud.
For me, no, because you know why? We've done this before. We've signed what's his name, Demba Ba, in January, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lorek Remy is either the summer or the January when we let go of somebody else. We've done this before. Signed players that to stop that is never worked for Chelsea. I don't understand why people are still going on about that. Thank you very much.
No, can I come in?
No, Higuain. You remember Higuain?
I remember Pato.
On loan. Yeah.
Okay, on loan. You remember? So we've done this before. So I don't understand. You bring in a player. You have a system that you play into, okay? That player needs to adjust to that system. By the time they adjust to that system, the season is finished. So what's the purpose of bringing them in? So this is the trick about the January or whatever, bringing in any type of player that's not part of your system. You remember Manchester United a few seasons ago when they have a lot of injuries to their strikers. Louis van Gaal went to the youth team and brought in a 17-year-old player, Marcus Rashford. That was the day he made his debut against United. Yeah. That's what you do when you have injury. Go in the academy, bring in a player, and play in that position. They are striker. They can score goals.
I think we did the same thing with Mikhail Forsell back in the day. I think we did the same thing with.
Thank you very much. And we did it with Carlton Cole as well. Remember when he broke through with Ranieri and scored those goals? Okay, so we've done this before. We should stop going to buy all these second or third-rated strikers to fill in gap. They will not fill in. Once you have, I will rather you go bring Guaguema, the academy number 9, and put him on the bench as a second an option if there is a diabolical situation, because we create chances, and the chances we create, those players they're better finisher than Havertz. Let me tell you this. Those strikers we underestimated. I'm not telling you all-round player, but if the ball is in the box, they will score. Marcus Rashford has proved it. Greenwood has proved it. That's the thing about Chelsea. We always want to buy. Sometimes just go and take these players to fill in that gap. Nothing wrong with it.
We're not
Can I come in? Can I come in?
Pressure to put on those guys too, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Right. A month or 2 months ago, I mentioned that in your channel, Mo, said we're very light in the front. We needed the backup striker for Lukaku, and I even mentioned that guy from Fulham. If we're going for a different competition, we need the second striker. He got rid of Abraham and what's his name? He wasn't good enough. That guy, the Belgian guy. So he's talking about Demba Ba. Yeah, Demba Ba actually won the FA Cup with him. He scored that semi-final goal against Man United.
Oh, he was a good striker for us, I thought.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate. You're talking about Demba Ba.
Look, I'm not talking about not being a good striker. Demba Ba, how many games did he play? Yeah, he played FA Cup games.
He's a second striker, Mo. He's a second striker, Mo. He's a second striker. So for a situation like that, just let me finish. Situation like that, Lukaku got injured because the manager was naive again, playing the two striker in the game. You shouldn't be playing two strikers, right? That's a mistake from Tuchel, 100%. Now we're stuck. We'll have to play false 9. But if we go back a month or 2 months ago, I mentioned that we need a fucking striker.
Kasim. So what was that?
Let me just mention this to you. If you sign Mitrovic,
one second more. Kasim, you said that Tuchel played a 2-man striker system and that was a mistake?
No, I'm talking about that last Champions League game. He didn't need to play Lukaku and Werner. He didn't need to.
Okay, because of the game, because it was Malmo.
No, Malmo, but I think we had enough good squad to win that game, even 1-2-0. He didn't need to play Lukaku, and he was contradicting himself as well. He said Lukaku's tired. He needs a rest. And all of a sudden,
exactly. Yeah. I thought he would. I didn't even think he would.
And that is the consequence. He got injured, and for 4 or 5 weeks, okay, and that it can ruin the season for us. But again, go back to my point. 2 months ago, I saw that coming. I mentioned that to you, Mo. I said we need the second. I was specific as well. We need second striker, and I mentioned that lad from Fulham, and people said no, it was not good enough. That guy is a goal machine. He can hold the ball. Yeah. He's a big lad. I think Mitrovic is a very good player.
Again, Kasim. I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in talking about that striker. I mean, I'm
I
interested.
think he's a good striker.
Yeah, but listen, Kasim. We are addressing the issue. We are addressing. Do we need to get a striker? I don't want to talk about because once we talk about that striker or this striker, we're going to be talking about he's tall, he's short, he's fast, he's quick, he's this, he's that. I want to address the issue.
That was
of
leading
the striker
that was leading two more.
Kasim, we can't talk about us getting a striker if we don't agree upon the idea and the concept of us buying or loaning a striker. So let's get a concept discussed, and then we'll talk about who. Couch had his hand up, so I'll listen to Couch and I'll go to Mo.
We're talking about strikers. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Tuchel's more comfortable playing without a recognized 9. Like his systems, everything that I've seen, even at Chelsea, seems to suggest that playing with an actual out-and-out number 9, he's still trying to figure that out. Like you saw him at Dortmund. Like you can say he played with like Aubameyang, but Aubameyang's not an out-and-out number 9.
He is.
He plays on the wing. He plays on the wing a lot.
Similar with Paris Saint-Germain. It's with
Mbappe and Neymar. Like I don't think that he's ever really played with an out-and-out number 1 that wants to stay central, knock the ball down, hold up the ball. He doesn't play with those kinds of strikers. I can't think of one name other than Lukaku right now.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. Neymar and Mbappe, he's already
hold
inherited.
Kasim, hold on. Go on, Mo.
Yeah, like I was saying, Manchester United, what happened? Van Gaal went into the youth team and brought in a striker, okay? Chelsea can do that, the same thing. We don't need to buy a striker. You guys are talking about Dembaba, Kasim. Dembaba, you know why we signed Dembaba? Because Daniel Sturridge went to Liverpool. So there was a space in that January. So Dembaba didn't come because we had only Fernando Torres. So that is, now if you sign a striker from outside, you know what's going to happen? When Lukaku come back, what's going to happen? We have Kai, Lukaku, Werner. Where's the striker going to play? They're not going to see the pitch. Okay, so signing, it doesn't make sense. They go into the youth and bring in a player when we need emergency situation. They already know the system. They can come in, they will fill this gap. If it's about scoring, if we create the chances, I'm telling you. I'm not saying that they're going to be deadly, but they will score more goals than these false 9s we're playing. They're strikers. That's what they are trained to do.
A lot of pressure, though, yeah?
Let Kasim respond. Let Kasim respond.
Pressure is what's going to build their character, just like Rashford, just like Greenwood.
Kasim, let me hear your response, mate. We lost Kasim. We lost him. Go on, Couch.
No, I don't really have anything to add. I think it's a good thing. I think it's great that Mo is sees has such confidence in the youth and whatnot. But even as is right now, like what strikers are in the youth system right now that can come in and play minutes for us? I don't even know if there's any, like other than Broha, he's probably the next one he's away on loan. Like we talked about it the other day, is Fabinho or Fabema, or is he ready to come into the squad and play? Do we have strikers at the squad at the youth level right now that can play?
Yeah.
I think
One second, Bobby. Evan Jagger, we addressed your comment already in the stream. I think if you go back 10-15 minutes, you will find us talking about this particular topic. We talked a lot about it, so we addressed that. I'm going to let Kasim respond to what Mo said. Then I'll bring you in, Bobby. Go on, Kasim.
Did Chelsea sign Dembaba, yes or no?
Yes.
We signed him. Yeah, we signed him to replace Sturridge.
No. It doesn't matter. Listen, do you sign them? Yes or no?
Yeah, but there was a space available. That's what I'm telling you. You just can't
no. If Chelsea going for listen, mate. If Chelsea going for the Champions League and going for the league, and our expectation to win the league, you can't go with one striker. And if we go two striker, Werner and Lukaku, and the manager decide to play both of them in a weaker opposition in the Champions League, which is on him, okay? We should because I don't think he treat Werner as a striker. So you need the number 2 striker.
Kasim, I want to ask you this question: Do you think Armando Broja has a future at Chelsea?
From what I heard, his Southampton fans told the manager to play him. They rate him very highly. I think he's a very, very good player, but I think he's too young. He scored last game, and he played. He's Albanian, isn't it? And he scored for his national team. He's in top form. So from what I heard, and that the right back as well. He's super talented as well. Is he? I forgot his name. The right back.
Livramento.
Yeah. He's got 35.
We sold him. There's a buyback clause on him, but he's sold. The thing is, the reason why I'm asking you this, Kasim, is I can see your side of the argument. I can also see most side of the argument. Who's correct? I don't know. But there are some factors that we need to look at when we're deciding on the next step that we're going to take. Broja is a factor. If we are going to give him a key role or a supporting role next season with Lukaku, then do we go and loan someone this window? Because if we think that we are light up front, it might just be a good idea to loan. I agree. I think the way we are right now is a little bit light. So it might make more sense to loan someone. I mean, if we're gonna buy someone, then we're gonna say that listen, Broja, mate, your future at Chelsea is over. Because if we are gonna buy someone, and I think if Chelsea are gonna buy someone, they're either gonna go for a top class striker, maybe we're talking about Haaland, or someone of that nature. Okay, or they're gonna buy someone who is young and they can develop him. To be the replacement for Lukaku and potentially the future with Broja. So this is why I said to you, I don't want to talk about a player, but I want to talk about
I understand
a system.
I understand.
Before I come back to you and tomorrow, I want to give Bobby a chance because Bobby wants to add to this discussion. Bobby, let me hear what you have to say, mate.
You're quiet, Bobby.
Yeah, I think we are light in the striking position. Just like Kasim, I also alluded to that at the beginning of the season. And we've got ourselves into a bit of a snookered position in that, what to do about it is a conundrum. However, having said that, there's a finite number of replacements you can have to any team, any top team. Barcelona would have struggled if they had lost Messi and Xavi at the same time. Man City, when they lost their strikers, they had to dig deep and they struggled a little bit. Liverpool, as we had mentioned before, if they're without Salah and Mane, it's a different picture for them. So without Lukaku and Werner, it's a bit of an issue, but I'm very interested to see what Tuchel does tomorrow, and I think he has quite a bit up his sleeve. The difference between us and the other teams is that our two strikers, their effectiveness to the team is one, their potential, two, what they do on the pitch in terms of the distraction or the occupation they give to the opposing defenders. They haven't really started banging them in. So will we miss them really? I think we can manage with the run of games we've got. What I think we will have to do, should these injuries be recurring, is to bring somebody up who can fit into that position. We've got Havertz, who's rather mobile in that position, and I personally believe he will use Ruben if he has to. And that's what we will do until the end of the season, if we can survive it, if we need to survive it. And then we'll start making the moves. Armando Broja will definitely have to come back. And if the rumors about Haaland are true, well, it just goes to show that there's space for him in the forward line.
Can I? Yeah.
Sorry, Eric. I'll let you come in. I think the fact that Ruben has also had a bunch of good performances and shown that he is able to hold that ball, to drive that ball, to pass that ball, to win that ball back. He hasn't done himself any harm in putting himself out there for the striker position. And even though he mentioned in an interview that he played in that position as one of his in his other roles, so he can do it. He can do it. The only thing that I want to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek do now is get a couple of goals from midfield, and I think it would ease him into a potentially a more attacking role, because he was playing as a DM in his last match that he started. So Tuchel probably is looking at him for his strength rather than for his finishing, which he is good at. Eric, let's hear it, mate.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Bobby was saying. I don't think Ruben is a striker, but I also doubted that he could play in the double pivot. So he's pretty good there. So he can prove me wrong.
Mate.
Yeah, look, if he does it, that should be very fun to watch, honestly. For however long he needs to be there for, whatever Tuchel decides. But going back to the whole striker situation, I think personally, we should have three strikers. Not everybody has this idea, but
squad,
I think
in the squad.
Yes, we should have. I remember we had three strikers. So Giroud, Tammy, and someone else. I can't remember who it was. Was it Batshuayi?
Werner.
Was it, yeah, Werner. I think it was Werner. Yeah.
I still don't classify Werner as a striker.
No,
but he was playing with the front, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing. Yeah. I think Lampard played him up front a few times. So personally, I like having three strikers. It makes a lot of sense. You can do a lot of things with it. You have a lot of options, and that's exactly that's what you want. You don't just want a situation where a striker gets injured and you have only one striker in your whole squad. So we needed three strikers. Tuchel, yeah.
I'm gonna let you address this first, Eric. Then I'm gonna ask Julius to come in on this. This is a very good point. It says here. You're saying you can't manage the striker, but when did your striker score? So when he's alluding to the fact that our strikers are not really scoring. Most of our goals are coming from other parts of the pitch, which is a valid point. A valid point. So, are we giving this issue too much time? We are a team that score from all different positions on the pitch. So
we aren't giving it too much time because it's not about how they're playing right now. That's not the point. The point is the potential, for what we can do in the future. The point is we need bodies there. We can't just leave that. We can't have leave it vacant just because the players we have were not performing. So therefore, we just have a open, wide open space there, and you just don't play anybody. There has to be someone there who does some kind of role for the team. It's not just about he didn't score, therefore why are we talking about strikers? It doesn't make any sense to think about things like that. So, it doesn't. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. We need three strikers, in my opinion.
Havertz the striker. Havertz the striker, Eric. Yeah.
Do I rate him? No. In terms of goal scoring, no. He needs to do a lot more. I was told by a few people on one or two other streams I was on that Havertz can score 15 goals, maybe 20 goals in the league, not in all comps, in the league. I don't think he's on that level. I don't even think he can score 10 as a striker right now. But obviously he has a long way to go. He can prove that he can do it. But in terms of what Tuchel wants, yes, he sees Havertz as a striker. He just does. So Havertz is one of the strikers, and obviously Lukaku is the second one. So we needed a third one, because Werner isn't a striker. Werner can't do what Tuchel wants in that central position. He's never played him there. So we needed a third option. It could have been Broja. It could have been Tammy. Obviously, Tammy was always out of favor. I don't think Tuchel treated Tammy fairly, but we don't need to focus on that. but I always thought we needed a third option there. I think that makes a lot of sense. But we'll see what happens in the future. I still think we can manage. I think Havertz can manage, a game every 4 days. Hopefully, it works out. But yeah.
I wanna bring in Julius into this discussion, and I wanna bring him in with this angle. A guy's talking about Jota in the chat, but I'm not going to talk about Jota because Jota is a centre forward. I want to talk about Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah is not even a striker or a centre forward. He's a winger. But boy, can the man score goals. But boy, can the man finish. And can he create. The point I'm trying to make is this. Do Chelsea focus too much on a striker while we should be really focusing on a goal scorer? That can be either a midfielder, a winger. I mean, we've had the player with the highest number of goals for Chelsea is not a striker. He's a midfielder. All right. So, are we looking too much about strikers? Are we looking too much about number 9s? And should we really be focusing more about getting our players to be able to get into goal-scoring positions, opportunities, more of that? Good point here. An example of that would be Pedro. Pedro was good at scoring goals, even though Pedro was a winger. So, what's your thoughts on that, Julius? I want to rack your brains on that, mate.
It's a really, really good point, Mo, because I think now there is a big difference between a striker and a goal scorer. And as you mentioned, Mo Salah is an example. We bought initially Werner as a striker. I'm not 100% sure about the percentage of the time he played as a striker in Leipzig, but if I remember correct, looking back in the days about his stats with Leipzig, I think he played 40% of his games as a winger. I'm not 100% sure, but the problem with Chelsea is the way our team is built doesn't accommodate strikers well. Thomas Tuchel, when he came in, he had to play the way we play now because that's the best way that suits our team, specifically our defenders. We all know that back when we played 4 at the back, as much as we love how good Rudiger and Christensen has been recently, they did not do well at 4 at the back, even before Lampard as well. So there is the factor of not having proper wingers in the team as well that would feed the striker with enough balls to score goals. We don't have a proper number 10. We don't have an actual clear number 10 in the team since Cesc Fabregas, I think, that would create chances. And it's just the way we play, man. It's just the way the team is built. The players, the type of players that we have would not help the striker score more goals. If you look at Dortmund, they have a lot of players that are creative. Let's take a look at our team. Mason Mount is not a creator. He doesn't create enough chances. He doesn't score enough goals. He's good at a lot of other things. He's really good at a lot of other things. But when it comes to assisting and scoring, not enough, not good enough. If you look at Havertz, we bought him, and let's look at the intent of our transfers to create chances. That's what I remember him for. And he doesn't create enough chances. He's not good enough in that department. He needs to improve. He is good in a lot of other things as well, but not good enough when it comes to chances. Who is creating our chances? Our defenders. Most of the time, it's either Chilwell, Azpilicueta, or Marcos Alonso. They either have a good cross, or even Reece James. They either have a good cross or they score a goal themselves. Our wing backs and our defenders are actually carrying us, to be honest. Even with goals, if you look at how many goals across the defense we've scored, it's a lot of goals from the defense, which tells you something. that this team, the way it's built and the type of players we have, does not accommodate a number 9, does not accommodate a forward. It's literally built around our defense. That's my input. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it.
You know what we miss? We miss a player like Hazard.
Yeah. We miss. It doesn't even have to be a number 10. Just a creative player from wherever. Doesn't matter. It could be left, could be the right. Because it's just. Yeah.
And that's why I'm so disappointed in Pulisic, because he had all of that: the pace, the creativity, the finishing, the ability. But he's never available. He's always injured.
Yeah, it's him and Ziyech. It's these two supposed to be creating and scoring and doing stuff. Dribbling. They haven't. And in my opinion, the biggest factor with specifically Pulisic as well is the injuries. He's never played a full season. He's never played half a season, I think, even since he's joined. Same thing with Ziyech. He's always injured. It's really frustrating because, in my opinion, these two are really good players. I actually highly rate both of them. But we still need to spend money, man. We need actual reinforcement.
Julius, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this, because I don't want us to buy more and sell more. I want to see us develop more, and that's the thing. I don't want to see us throwing money on every problem that we have and trying to fix it by throwing money at it. Because that is the best way to get your club into trouble. I think we made an error in spending so much. It's an error, but it's an error that I can see why we made it.
Yeah.
I think Lampard coming in to Chelsea, qualifying for the Champions League the following season. And then we had a transfer window where we spent nearly £250,000 bringing in a whole bunch of talented players, fantastic players, but they were brought in to suit Lampard's formation, Lampard's system. Half a season later, Lampard is out of the door. We bring in Tuchel, who plays a different formation and a different system, and now he has to incorporate those players into that. Now, this for me is problematic, because I know that Tuchel, if he had that budget that we spent for Lampard, he would have bought a different type of player. And you see, right now we're trying to fix that. But by the time we fix that, Tuchel may be out of the door. Another manager comes in, and then we're going to have.
You've opened a can of worms, man. This is the thing that really upsets me about the club. And whenever I always I don't mention it. I've been very, how do I say, positive. I don't really talk about these kind of things unless or until we start underperforming. And we start, not doing what we're supposed to do, and then you see, a more negative side of me.
Sorry. I'm not. Yeah. No, Eric. Listen. I am not being negative.
No. You're not. You're not.
I'm trying to highlight an issue that we are facing. We could be. We could be. We are top of the league right now. Right. We are on course to win everything that we are in every competition that we're in. We're on course to win it. There's nothing to suggest that we can't win it. We're playing well. We're getting the results, and we're on track.
Yeah.
We have injuries that are concerning, but even those injuries that are concerning, they are not necessarily a negative thing, because we said it opens. One door closes, another one opens. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is this: had Tuchel, or if Tuchel is given an opportunity and given the flexibility to buy, like we did with Lampard, I think he would have bought some other players. And the thing is this: I'm a little bit concerned. I'm a little bit concerned in regards to the way Chelsea is approaching transfer windows under Tuchel as opposed to under Lampard. And I know when we came into the transfer window for Lampard, it was done in a way where we had 2 windows that we did by no one. We were sitting on a whole bunch of money, so we were able to do those transfers. But this window that just went, we were supposed to get a defender, and it didn't happen because of the negotiations with Koundé, the team, the contract, the selling. What was it? The release clause that he had on his contract. We didn't want to pay that. His team wanted us to pay it. Agreement, disagreement, a whole bunch of nonsense. A whole bunch of nonsense when it came to Erling Haaland deal. Will it happen? Will it not happen? Then we ended up buying Lukaku. So it wasn't a decisive window like we saw with Lampard. Lampard, I want him. I got him. I'll let you come in. I'll let you come in. Now I know it was a different type of window with COVID, with money availability, etc., etc. It was different, but I get the feeling that Lampard was backed more than Tuchel is being backed. I know it's a big statement. I think that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I could be wrong. That's how I feel.
I'll
let Bobby. Wait, I'll let Bobby. Then I'll let you, Julius, because Bobby wanted to come in. I'll let Bobby. And I'll go to Julius. Go to Eric.
Yeah, I mean, this is a sensitive topic, isn't it? And a topic that I've often alluded to in a very unpopular way. Now, Lampard initially didn't even have a transfer window. When he had a transfer window, it was a peculiarity in that the savings from him not having a transfer window and the fact that there was a pandemic situation gave us a free run to be able to get your Werners, your Ziyech, and your Havertz. Those are the only 3, really. And so we got those deals. And Chilwell also. And Chilwell. Now, Chilwell was the Lampard buy. I don't think the others were. I think we would have got them regardless. And
Ziyech was wanted by Lampard.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, all of them were wanted by Lampard, but I think he
didn't want Havertz. Apparently, I don't know.
Okay, I mean, we're splitting hairs. The truth of the matter is that these players came in and look at the kerfuffle about getting even Hazard. When Havertz, when there was no competition. Chelsea have had a defective transfer capability for a long time. Even before we had the transfer window, when we were getting in the likes of Zappacosta and so on and so forth, we have been problematic in that area. Eventually, when we found that the one person doing the deals needed support, we then brought in people like Petr Cech, proper football people around. But still, the hesitation remains there. Now, I'm not saying anybody should lose their job or anybody should leave or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that this is a handicap. This is a handicap. And this is why I oppose this political rhetoric around one individual who is doing a job, an average job, and needs a heck of a lot of support and needs a lot of prompting to get stuff done. I personally believe the Havertz deal was eventually nailed because of the owner himself. Nobody else. We were faffing about that deal right up to the last minute where somebody somewhere pushed that thing and it went over the line. Haaland, well, I can give that. I know that it was a difficult deal anyway. But the whole dynamic about it was wrong. It's not decisive. It doesn't move definitively, and it doesn't target the right players until a heck of a lot of noise is made. That's a problem we have. Now, is Tuchel being backed? I think he is. I think Tuchel was given what he wanted, which was a striker, which was a big deal because they don't come cheap. You don't pluck them off trees. And I think Tuchel, with time, he'll be backed even further. The issue with the defender and the whole Jules Koundé situation, okay, It looked as if we're here trying to save face because first of all we went for one sum, and then they turned around and said no, they didn't say that. They wanted another. In my personal opinion, it shouldn't have even got there in the first place. Should have just done the deal, do it, done, finished, bring him in. But we don't have that decisive ruthlessness at the helm, and that's why we struggle. That's why the transfers are a limp, are a pain, are a struggle, even when we have a bundle of cash to spare. And I'm not looking forward to the summer because then there will be some competition, and goodness knows what's going to happen then. We'll go back to the days we were buying Zappacosta.
We will.
I listen, Bobby. You smashed it. You smashed it. I swear, you smashed it. No, he did. And I agree with him 100%. I agree with him 100%. You see, the thing is this. It's about perception. It's about perception. Now, everything he said about the windows, about the way that Chelsea is handling it, is accurate, and I agree with you. The reason why it was it was a smoother window under Lampard was because of the pandemic, and even then, the Kai Havertz transfer, just go look at my channel and on my playlist for Kai Havertz and the videos I made for Kai Havertz. We were making 2 videos a day, all right, because it was such a farce. But I agree, something happened that pushed it over the line. Was it Roman? Was it Petr Cech? Was it Lampard? But something definitely did happen, and I could tell you it wasn't the lady that did it. It was the men that did it for that particular one right at the end. But anyway, it's history. It's history. Let's get to Julius, and then Couch, and then we'll go to Mo, and then we'll go to Eric. And then we'll give the score predictions for the game that we're playing tomorrow. We're playing again tomorrow, by the way, just in case you guys have forgotten. Julius, let me hear it. What's your thoughts on this? Julius?
Yes. I'm just trying to remember what we were talking about.
Oh man, Julius, you got to focus, man. We're talking about the transfer windows, man.
Yeah.
And the backing of Tuchel and whatnot.
Yeah. I think I absolutely agree with Bobby with everything he said. I want to add to it that Tuchel, actually one thing I disagree with Bobby is that Tuchel, yes, he was backed, but at the same time, no, because he wasn't backed properly. He wasn't backed the way it should have been. He was given money to spend, but it wasn't enough, and it wasn't in the right places. In my opinion, Chelsea are gamblers. We don't have a plan. People talk about how genius Marina is, and they just worship her. When we got Lampard, I was against sacking him, because when you take a chance on someone like Lampard with his background and his experience, you should be willing to give him time, and you should be willing to accept that there's gonna be seasons that are gonna be bad, because you can't expect Lampard to come in and give him £300 million, go spend it, and then go win us the treble next season. That doesn't make any sense. That's like a bunch of kids playing career mode. And we have had this mentality for a decade. That's why we never win leagues consistently. We win a Champions League there, a league there, a cup there. We haven't had a proper dynasty with a single manager. And my concern with Tuchel here is that he basically took on a team that none of us, not one Chelsea fan, expected to finish even top 4, let alone winning the Champions League or even win the FA Cup, which we lost. So just because we won the Champions League from a brilliant manager, this does not make us as good as we think we are. And the reason why I was so negative during the summer in this transfer window, and I was against buying Lukaku and buying like Tchouameni, for example, as well, which thankfully we did not go for him, is because I don't think those players would solve our problems, and I don't think those players would be what Tuchel is looking for, in my opinion. What we needed to do is plan ahead. Haaland deal was linked since last winter. What happened? Last week of the transfer window, all of a sudden, we couldn't get a deal done because of Mino Raiola. Well, why didn't we not know about this before? Why did we wait until the last 2 weeks to go for Lukaku? If we couldn't get a deal done, a realistic deal done with Mino Raiola, why did we not get Lukaku earlier then? That's a proof that we don't have a structured plan. We just gambled, panic. Lukaku was a panic buy, by the way. So let's see how it goes. I said before we're not going to win the league this year, and I also said Lukaku is going to score at most 15 to 17 goals this season, max. I'm being optimistic as well.
All comps? All comps?
Not just say Lukaku was a panic buy. Someone just say that.
All comps?
Yeah.
Julius.
No, in the Premier League, I'm saying.
Julius, did you just say that Lukaku was a panic buy? Is that what I just heard?
Yeah.
What makes you think that's a panic buy?
Because we ended up buying him at the end of the transfer window when we were linked with Haaland throughout 6 months.
But you do know Tuchel came out about that already and actually said that even though we were talking with him, it was very clear and obvious early that we wasn't going to get him because of the amounts that Raiola and Haaland were demanding in wages and agent fees. So I don't think it's something that we left to last minute. I think we planned this whole Lukaku thing. It was just how we was going to plan the contract and the structure of the contract to get him to the football club. So I don't think this was a panic buy. I think he was our second option. I think Haaland was first. Don't get me wrong, but I think he was the second option.
My point here is that we finalized Lukaku's deal when it took us 6 months to realize we won't be able to get Haaland. We only had about 2 weeks to get Lukaku deal done, and then they literally finished it within 4 or 5 days. That's why I consider it a panic buy, because if Lukaku was not done, we did not have any options rather than keep Abraham, which was something Tuchel did not want.
You do know
why did it take us 6 months to realize Haaland is not?
It wasn't that. That wasn't the case. What I've heard had happened is that we originally we were talking to Dortmund, and Dortmund made it very clear that if there was anyone that was going to come and get Haaland, they'd have to have spent 150 million to 175 million euros, had to lay that on the table. The reason Dortmund said that was because they actually thought no one would do that. Chelsea did do that, and Dortmund then turned back and told us they wanted 200 million euros. That's where it happened. But I agree that we left it very last minute in terms of placing that offer, because I heard that the offer came in slightly late. It was meant to have been August the 20th. We had a deadline day between, I think it was August the 24th, if I'm right, that we had to get this across if we was going to do that in terms of interest. But we ended up putting the 150, 175, whatever it was. I don't know specifically of what it was. And then they turned around and went, well, actually, you know what? We don't actually want that. If we're going to sell Haaland, then we think he's valued at 200 million euros, because we see Haaland at least running out his contract and getting us Champions League football, which then means we earn more money from doing so as well. So I think that's what happened, to be honest.
Yeah, like the point, Jam, here is not that what exactly happened. The point is we are always late. We don't plan well, and we should have gotten Lukaku way before that if we really meant to that. If we really were planning properly, we shouldn't have waited until the end to get Lukaku. That allude to Chelsea Football Club and transfer not being efficient and always slow.
Can I just allude to one thing, please? Can I just allude to one thing that Julius has said? I do agree with Julius that our transfer dealings are problematic. And, there are issues there in the efficiency with which it's done. For example, look at the whole Rudiger, look at the whole Christensen situation. Any other top club would have also sealed Kante to an extension by now. All this hesitation, it's way too much. That is the problem we have at the helm as far as our transfers is concerned.
Is that hold on, Bobby? Is that an administrative thing with the club, or is it with a certain person?
Well, we always point the glories and over-exaggerate the efforts of a certain person. So if we want to go down that route, then it has to be down to a certain person. Now, as I said before, I'm not saying anybody should lose their job or anything like that, but I think we have to draw breath when we start to promote people and make them into these things that they are not. This person's struggling and needs help. There needs to be a more efficient machinery in place for us to get these deals done quicker. And I don't think it's down to one person. I think the board should organize that part of the club just that bit better. But the only other thing I wanted to address quickly, really quickly, I don't know. Everybody. This is all about opinions, and I really respect everyone's opinions. But I especially Julius. Julius. What I think about you, mate. You're a top man. But when you say things like, "Oh, Chelsea won't win the league," I know that's what you think, but then it sort of makes me question wisdom. I mean, we're very early in the season. Chelsea the reality is, despite the fact that a season is a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to have ups and downs. That's the beauty of the Premier League. And despite the fact that we're faced with challenges at the moment, I don't see the rationale in making such a definitive statement when you don't know. It's like in the Champions League final, when we got to the final, we had a few people phone up on this same stream. Oh, Chelsea won't win the final. I was like, mate, listen, we can do this. Yes, we're facing a stronger team. Yes, we have a stronger run in, but ultimately, look at how we're playing. Look at the fact that we've beaten these people before. We can do it again. And those that came out definitively to say it wouldn't happen, well, the rest is history. So I would hesitate before you count out Chelsea. It's just, I wouldn't even count out Man United at this stage. I wouldn't count out Man City. I wouldn't count out Liverpool. So why?
I would count out Man United. I would count out Man United. That's just me. I would have been in couch critic because Couch and more be waiting.
That's with respect to the opinion anyway, but I just thought I'd throw that in there.
No. It's brilliant. It's brilliant points. I'll let Julius respond, but because Couch and more have been waiting for so long, I'm going to give him a couple of minutes each.
Thanks for the time, Mo. I don't know. We did speak a lot about transfers and who's responsible and whatnot, and whether or not people were bought for Lampard, people are bought for Tuchel. I just think that players are bought for the club now. I don't think that we necessarily buy them for specifically for the managers anymore, and probably haven't for a while.
System not important?
Potentially, yeah. Like, so you buy a Marcos Alonso because you know he can play wing back. May not be the guy that Conte wants, but he's a wing back. You buy David Luiz because David Luiz can be a libero. May not be the guy I want, but he can play that position. So maybe they do tend to buy players based on stylistic, which kind of leads to suggest that they're buying for the managers. But like guys like Kai Havertz, guys like Lukaku, I don't think that those guys are bought for the manager. These guys are bought because they're top players or considered such by the club, and we want them to flourish in our squad. They make us a bigger squad. They make us more desirable when you have these names on at the club. Yes, there are going to be players that you buy, just to tweak a system and whatnot, and we've seen that year after year after year. When we bought Danny Drinkwater, I don't think that he was bought because Conte wanted him. He was bought because Lukaku was going on. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was going on loan. They knew that they wanted him to go on loan. They tried to get Chamberlain in. They couldn't get Chamberlain. He went to Liverpool, so they were left short in the midfield, and they ended up buying Danny Drinkwater to make up the numbers, not to be somebody that they expected to play minutes for.
I think also the homegrown quota needed to be addressed.
Exactly. So Lukaku, because Ruben Loftus-Cheek went on loan, they needed another player to come in on that homegrown quota to come in. Like, if you look at that season, like Danny Drinkwater barely played. He played like maybe 4 games, if that. So he wasn't bought specifically for tactical deployment as much as to make up numbers and to give Ruben a chance to go on loan. But with everything else,
He wasn't drinking water. He was drinking something else as well.
yeah, he was in the clubs a little bit too much, man. He was partying. He was sipping that champagne, man. But I will say this: like as far as everything else goes with the club, I don't necessarily know if what we're talking about is one particular person. I don't think that if we're going to use the names, like Granovkaia is responsible for signing deals specifically. I think it's a committee of people that come together and make these deals happen. And sometimes you have somebody that, so McLaughlin, who's like our head scout or whatever. I'm not sure if he's the head scout, but I know he's involved in our scouting. He will say, okay, manager comes in and says, okay, we need a specific type of player. We need somebody that can play out wide and attack down the wing. What names do you have, McLaughlin? Oh, well, there's Traore. Oh, there's Hakimi that's available. Oh, there's this guy. Okay, let's go to Tuchel. Tuchel, who do you want? Well, I wouldn't mind having Hakimi. I think that guy is something that I want. Okay, cool. We can't get Hakimi, but here is the player types that we have. So of these player types, this is who we're going to get. Are you cool with these names here? Okay, cool. Yeah, sure, whatever. Give me Lukaku, that's fine. I don't think that the decisions for who we bring into the squad are left up to the manager. And I definitely don't think that it's left up to Marina Granovkaia. She may be the person that negotiates the deals, but the players that come in are not.
You also forget the person that actually pays for it as well, yeah?
Well, him too, exactly. And and we don't even take that in consideration.
No, I remember
back in the day when we had Emanalo doing what work is that we consider Marina to be doing right now. It's the exact same thing. We didn't get deals over the line the next day. It took a long time to get these deals done.
I remember Conte.
Hazard.
Remember when we target man, and then they offer him Andy Carroll.
Yeah, you remember all this stuff, right? You remember, even with the Hazard deal back in 2012. Like everyone was like, when are we signing Hazard? When are we signing Hazard? What's going on? It took a long time because these deals take a long time.
Yeah,
it's not that quick, and I think the fallacy within the club right now is just that we're not identifying players that are perfect fits for the manager. And maybe that comes down to the fact that we don't necessarily want to buy players to suit a specific system, and then we fire the manager 2 years later, and then we have to find a bunch of different players for the new manager. So now they're just buying players that are footballers. So Havertz is a footballer. I probably could list a few more names of that sort, but like we're not buying specific players. We're buying footballers now, so that they can fit into different systems. They can fit into like different managerial ideas. That's how I see it. I could be wrong, but that's how I've been carrying on with my thought process when it comes to the club.
It's cool. No one is wrong and everybody is right. This is football and it's an opinion. So we'll discuss it. We'll debate it, and we'll walk away more educated for it. I'm gonna just say one thing. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 17 minutes. I can't believe it. It's been a mad stream. I'm going to give Mo a chance to come in on this topic. Then I'm going to start with match predictions, scoreline predictions for tomorrow. Then we'll end the stream because it's just been too long. I mean, I don't know who's going to watch this back. I don't think anybody will watch this back ever.
We haven't heard from Jim yet.
We'll hear from Jim. Jim will be the first one to sign us off. So he'll be talking to us about his point of view. Then he'll give us his scoreline prediction, and then we'll just wrap it all up. Mo, let me hear it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna start with the chance creation and striker scoring goals or all the. Then I will go with go next to the transfer. With the chance creation, I mean the first time under Mourinho when we won the league, I think Didier Drogba scored only 12 goals in the league, and goal contribution was I think 15 or 16 total in the league. Chelsea have never been this club that need a striker to score 30 goals. We only did it, I think, Drogba did it once when we won the league. But the second season when we won the league, Drogba scored 15 goals as well. Okay, it's under Ancelotti. When we won the league, he scored 29, Lampard scored 22, Malouda scored, I think, about 12 or 15. Everybody scored. Even Ashley scored 3. In Chelsea's history, Diego Costa was the only one that scored 20 back-to-back when we won the league. Okay, and even that season, Hazard scored 15. Pedro, it wasn't Pedro. Willian scored about 7 or 8. then everybody chip in. The defenders chip in. Gary Cahill scored, I think, about 6 or 7. David Luiz scored, and Alonso scored on the Conte. So Chelsea has always been by committee. We win the league by committee. I don't understand why the panic about striker this, striker that. That's not been a Chelsea way. You can criticize it, that's true. But we're not Liverpool. We've never been. We're not Man City. We've never been. We have our way of winning. That's scoring goals by committee. That's why I'm not scared of, why are our defenders scoring? Why is this scoring? I don't care about that. Once we're winning, that's all I care about. Because I know we can win the league playing with our other players scoring. Because that's even it's a weapon. Nobody knows who's going to score next. Okay, go and watch every season that we won the league. Diego Costa, after January, he scored, I think, the first season we won the league, 8 goals. 8 goals under Mourinho's, when Mourinho's returned. The second season under Conte, I think 7 as well. Conte ended up benching Diego Costa, if you remember. But Batshuayi scored few goals. He used to play Hazard, Pedro, and Willian on few games. Conte did false 9 because Costa was out of form towards from January towards the end. So I don't understand all these things people going on and on. Chelsea have never been a team that creates high volume of chance. It's never been. It's never been. Nobody.
Sorry, I just got to interject real quick. It's not that I don't. Okay, and maybe it might be something that's targeted at me. I don't think that it comes down to.
No. Sorry, it's not you.
No, I know. I get that. But I've been banging on about this whole idea, but we need a striker. We need somebody to score goals. And the reason why I say that is because when I look at the squad right now, I don't see guys that score goals. Like, you can say that we have a plethora of people scoring goals, but we don't have, like, we're scoring 1 and 2 goals. You know what I mean? That's not enough to win the league for me.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, like, during Mourinho, we won, I think, about 11 games or whatever by 1-0 or 2-1 or 2-0 or whatever. So that's what I'm telling you. If
we had guys that scored 10 goals, 11 goals, 18 goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that we have those guys right now.
No, under Mourinho, we only have 2 people that scored that amount. It was Lampard and Drogba, over 15 goals. Everybody else, it was 7-6. It was 7-6, 3, 5, 4. That's what I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's not a thing to be panicked about. If we continue scoring at this rate, because right now we are third leading goal scorers in the league or 4th. That's not bad. We've been 5th before and we won the league. I'm not complaining about that, the creative whatever. It will come eventually. I believe that. I believe the more the players play together around that 15 to 16 games in the season, things will be different because we've not had the same starting 11 or the same players playing together consistently. Sorry, they've not been playing together that much for us to panic yet. You know, obviously, if it becomes a proper issue where we're not winning games at all, then it's an issue. But as far as I'm concerned, when you're top of the league, you're gonna pick and choose, which is fine. You're gonna nitpick, that's fine. But to be like sometimes, like I'm talking about Chelsea fans when they panic. It's like panicking. It's like I don't get it. Like, what's the panic about? We're top of the league, okay. And the other part about the transfer, Chelsea fans, I think we should look back. When Roman came in, we bought lots of players. We didn't make money for a long time. Okay, that's why I like to give, whether it's Emalano, whether it's what's his name, the Peter Kenyon. I give them all credit. Okay, they did a lot of good things. They did things as well which were not good. Because if you remember, we were paying for Crespo when he was scoring against Liverpool in the Champions League final. Chelsea were paying more than half of his salary. Veron, we paid for Veron until he left Inter for the last 4 years of his salary. Chelsea have wasted a lot of money. That's why we were not making money. We signed a lot of players that we didn't fit into our system. We let them go. We pay them whilst they were playing for other teams, winning titles. Even Shevchenko, we paid the last 2-3 years of his salary as well whilst he returned back to Milan. So for people to think that, okay, it's just now we make a mistake about transfer, it's been going on for a long time. And the other part I want to talk about is, again, about this transfer thing. When Mourinho came in, Chelsea already bought Ian Robben, Damien Duff, Petr Cech. They were all there, okay? He brought in Drogba, Thiago, Carvalho, Ferreira, and Kezman. Okay, we won the league. Okay, when we won the league, he get rid of some of the players Peter Kenyon bought. Okay, then he brought in SCN and then Mikel, and we won the league again. What did he do? He followed with the board. He wanted to get rid of a lot of the players, and he got rid of Duff and some of them. And then injury happened. Remember, that's the season where we had all those injuries. And it was Mourinho that get rid of the players. And we got those injuries. We end up losing the league because Petr Cech was injured, Cudicini was injured, John Terry was injured, Michael Essien was injured, Drogba was injured. But who get rid of those players? Okay, and replace them with Pizarro and Ballack and them lot. So he was the manager. And the following season, he followed with the board. He left. And then when he came back, what did he do? Emiliano created a wonderful squad with Hazard, Mata, Oscar, you name them. Who get rid of all those players?
Okay.
It's the managers.
I completely disagree.
I'm going to ask you this. Did Tuchel get rid of Olivier Giroud?
No. Tuchel is one manager there, I can say. He didn't participate. No, that wasn't him.
Because if you watch an interview, and I wish I had a link to it. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched it? Okay.
Yes,
Olivier Giroud said he was unhappy. He said, I can't be unhappy with Tuchel because we won the Champions League together. But I was unhappy to have missed such a big chunk of the season. Okay, so he left the team. He left the club. He pushed for the move because of Tuchel. So Tuchel may not have said, I don't want him on my team. But because of his actions, those players moved on. And I can say the same thing for Tomori under Lampard. I can say the same thing that had Lampard stayed, Alonso would not be here right now. Okay, there are actions. I mean, the manager doesn't have to say, I don't want him and I don't want him, but he can force players out. Tammy Abraham left because Tuchel didn't play him. He didn't fancy him. So Tuchel is responsible for why Tammy Abraham is no longer at Chelsea.
For Tammy, yes, but for Giroud, I understand his age. He needs to go. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the club make mistake, but the thing is that team we created when Mourinho came his second time, all that team was lacking is still meat and pick. Mourinho get rid of the whole team and replace it with whom?
No.
Okay, and Mourinho get rid of that team and they replace it with what? And also one thing we failed to understand, that was the reason why that transfer, that mistake we did on that transfer, that was the reason why even Mourinho didn't see eye to eye with some of the people that were responsible for the academy. Okay, and the people that signed those players, those youth players, it was Michael Emiliano. He was the one that signed them. The Belgium contract and everything, it was him. Okay, but Chelsea fans turn on him and blame him for everything. Okay,
I'm glad
he was the one because he was the guy that signed them, and Mourinho get rid of them. But they turn on him. And guess what? Let me tell you, see the academy now we have? He was the guy that created the structure that Chelsea Academy can play any system. They can fit into any team. He's the one that created that. Okay, so sometimes fans, we can talk and say, okay, they don't do this, the club don't do this. There are a lot of things the club is doing, but they want to please the manager, fit the manager and the club structure. Sometimes it doesn't go hand in hand. They will make mistakes.
Yes.
But doesn't mean that they're not working underneath.
100%. We won 3 leagues in 10 years. Amazing.
So always there's that thing. The thing is the structure is there, but the manager too wants something. So what are they gonna do? They're letting go of players that they shouldn't let go. They're buying players that they shouldn't buy. But the thing is they're gonna get some wrong. Right now, I'm not happy with this squad. I'm not gonna lie to you. When we wanted to sign certain players, but once they're at Chelsea, I will support them. That's the way I see things. But for me, if you want to ask me my personal opinion, I didn't think we should have bought Havertz. I don't think he's talented. He's good. But for Chelsea's system, he's not a Chelsea player. That's what I didn't see him. Because unless we change the way we play, I didn't see him as that type of for us.
That's
okay.
You got to build a team around him. It looks like you got to build a squad.
Thank you.
But that's harsh on Havertz, to be honest, because you know what? I wouldn't.
he's not saying Havertz is not good enough. He's saying he doesn't fit our system.
Yeah, no, I know.
Therefore, it's not his fault. It's not Havertz's fault.
I think
It's not his fault. He has the talent. He has everything you need in a player. But the thing is, the way Chelsea play, they have to change. They made the same mistake with certain players as well. Okay, when Mourinho came in, he changed Oscar. Oscar, the first season for Benitez, and he was good, a goal scorer. Mourinho come and change him into a defensive attacking midfielder.
And
what happened to him?
He won the league. That's what happened.
You should create a dynasty, not to win a league one season and then finish 10th.
That's up to the club. That's up to the club.
Guys, I'm gonna have to interject, and I'm gonna have to cut it short because it's literally 3 hours and a half, and I have something that I need to get done. So I'm gonna have to cut the interview the stream short. So guys, I do apologize. We will be back online straight after the match tomorrow, half an hour probably after the match. And I do apologize that I didn't get around to getting score predictions, but it has gone past the time I had allocated for the stream. Great conversation with everyone, great feedback, great points of view, and it's been a good stream. It's been a fantastic stream. And again, I apologize for cutting you off more, but it's a timing issue, logistical issue. I will see you all tomorrow after the game. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Take care of yourselves and peace.
1-0.